Hey everybody. Hey Stilling. Where did YouTube chat go? There we go. It's Monday. It is the last day before my, well, it's not the last day before my vacation, I guess, but it's the last stream day, probably. So we'll do a morning stream, we'll do an afternoon stream, and then that'll be it for like 3.5 weeks or 4 weeks. So yeah, let's update the today command to reflect that. I'll say I have a meeting at noon today. What is going on with the cursor of this? Huh, weird. I can't move it. What? Now it's not refreshing? What's going on? Huh. Something is amiss. Are these other docks working? No. Wow, weird. I've never... Oh, there it goes. I was going to say, I've never seen that. Yeah. Hey, Schwartz. Hey, French. Hey, Shop. Welcome in, everybody. Yeah, well, now it's working fine. Today is Adam's last stream day until probably June 17th. Yeah. Although there will be an afternoon stream too. Adam is going to work on any improvements he can make to Skeleseller without being in an unfinished state for weeks. Yeah, that's the general plan. All right, so the way I start every Monday by looking through tenets, making sure I'm on track with this stuff. This process has gotten a lot faster since the first few weeks because I've cut down on so many tenets. All right, post-stream to-dos. Still great. Get to the point. Checkpoint number 1 was an example of this. Even more so, I almost wonder if I should have spent more time on it, but I'm happy with how things turned out. Sustainability, potentially a problem. I don't have good work hygiene. It's bleeding into evenings and weekends. It's something I want to keep an eye out for when I get back. And embrace failure. No real opportunities. I wonder if I should delete embrace failure only because this isn't going to be relevant for a little while. Yeah. I think I'm going to retire it for now. At least while we're doing game dev, there's not going to be a whole lot. Retired on today. Rationale, at least while I'm doing game dev, I don't think there are going to be a lot of opportunities for this. It's still a tenet that I want to uphold, though. Okay, there. I think that's pretty much it. Yeah. Hey, Porsche. And hey, Xanis. All right, I think we can get started with working on stuff. Let's see. Mention this on Discord too. Updates schedule. Yeah, let's do that really fast. Yeah, there just won't be vacation mode first day. What? You can't click the arrows? What? Is it because you can't go past? Also, what is going on there? Why is everything weird right now? Look at this. What? I don't even know. What is this? I don't know what's going on. That's very bizarre. Yeah. I can't even save this because I'm not typing in dates properly. This is so weird. Yeah, what? All right, well, it says February 20th, 2024. So let's just mimic that format and say June 16, comma 2024. Can I paste this in or is this going to get messed up again? Oh man, their date picker's like totally busted. And there's no way to update this. So strange. I don't even know where this is coming from though. Terra jar? Can I search through their JavaScript and find out where this is going? Chrome, DevTools, search all JavaScript. Yeah, search all files. Yeah, Control Shift F should have done it. Oh, Command Option, not Command Shift. Okay, whoops. I had BoJack Horseman up. That explains where that tab went. I was like, where's that coming from? Um, yeah. So go back to this and do Command Option. Oh, there we go. Okay, yeah. So Terra, short form of the months in other languages. I did a Google search and nothing quickly showed up. But that's entirely possible. Although that still doesn't make sense how that could happen. Unless I somehow change the language. Jar cha. I don't. This isn't gonna find anything because it's a. Yeah, it's Oh, vendor moment. Here it is. Okay. Wow. Well, there we go. I was gonna say they're all substrings of other things. Yeah, all these. What's going on? Did they just include the wrong language? Certainly seems like it. Yeah. Locale TLH. What is TLH? List of country and locale codes. I don't even know what this is. And TLH doesn't show up here. What? What is this? Yeah, what is this locale? This is what we're seeing. I'm so confused. Hang on one second. Okay, yeah, I'm very confused. I don't know what locale this even is. TL-PH. Okay. Philippines, I guess? Is that what this is? Turkish lira, Philippine peso. Language code. Tagalog. Yeah. Okay, yeah, so that's probably what TLH is as well. Is this looks corrupt? Well, okay, so if it's picking the wrong locale, could we get it to pick the right locale? I don't know what we would even do for that. There's no like update the locale here. I don't even know where you file Twitch bugs. Yeah, weird. Well, if I can't set a vacation schedule, then I don't guess we'll look into this later. Where do you file Twitch bugs? TLH is going on. Oh man. I mean, for all we know, it is Twitch Klingon. Yeah, no, there's. Okay, anyway, Twitch report bugs. I guess let's just go figure that out. I can't click Twitch report bugs. Filing a report. No, that's not the kind of report. If something is broken or not working the way it should, file a ticket. Oh boy, let's go do this. This is not how I wanted to spend my morning. This stuff might autocomplete with things I don't want to show on stream. Let me just take a look really fast. Your name. I'll just fill it out at the end. All right. Category. Twitch apps. I don't know where I put this. General. TV, web, mobile. It's probably this. I'll just pick this. Subcategory. What is going on? It's redirecting me somewhere. Oh yeah, just fill in everything for me. Okay, your name, your Twitch name, my email address, my phone number, subcategory, console app, mobile app, TV app, or Twitch Studio. It doesn't just have web here. Oh my God, I don't want to do this. Maybe I just, no, you have to pick a subcategory. Is what is Twitch Studio? No, that's OBS, right? No, that's their version of OBS. TV, mobile, console. Yeah, it's none of those. I'm just gonna hit submit feedback. Navigate to user. Oh God, Twitch, why do you do this? Okay, I think I found it. I think it's under general. And I think we just say generic issue, detail category. Oh, they make this as hard as possible. Wow. Oh man. Yeah, I I don't know how you do this. I can't show this screen because it's got a bunch of personal information on it. Uh, it says the options are I can't host it. Well, I guess I could show this menu, so I don't need to read all these out loud. But these, I can't host a channel. It's not that. Accessibility, extension, it's not those. Whispers, stream recommendation, manage roles, profile banner. Like it doesn't belong here. I don't want to spend a bunch of time on this. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna just pick a different category that sounds like maybe it'll work. It's none of these either. Plus program, lifetimes. There's no other. They don't have like an other category. Maybe because it would just become a magnet for bug reports. Oh my God. File a report. The filing of a report is too difficult. All right, I guess I'll just choose console app, other, subject, the schedule, date picker. Date picker is unusable. Okay, so the underlying JavaScript library moment is in the wrong locale. So trying to choose a date emits something like 15 tera jar cha of February 15, 2024. This makes it impossible to choose a date even by manually typing it in. All right, website Chrome. And then let's include a screenshot, I guess. This is so stupid. It's so stupid. I don't know how this even, probably nobody even uses this thing. Copy as path name. Sorry, give me a sec. Almost done with this. Okay, it's submitting now. There we go. Your ticket has been submitted. Oh, so dumb. Someone that could support very well-made reports, I often give up somewhere in the process and end up not giving them the reproducible issue. Yeah, that was a little bit ridiculous. Like there should just be a website issues category or some more obvious way of dispatching a bug like that. Oh man. All right, well, I'm annoyed, but we're gonna have to do that later, I suppose, because I think this is important. I have gotten feedback before that if I don't change my stream title or I don't have like the schedule changed, that people won't know when I'm streaming, and that's why I even wanted to do this in the first place. Hip Hop, thank you for resubbing. All right, so I gotta write this here. Figure out the vacation schedule issue. Yeah. Wow, what a ridiculous thing. So ridiculous. 1 year, I think. It says 11 months, but it's very close. Or thank you too for resubbing. All right, we're gonna try to get this train back on the tracks. Yeah, I said update the schedule. I guess we're not doing that. And then mention on Discord about the vacation. I'll do that too. Mention on Discord about the upcoming vacation and how there won't be any streams. Oh, sub anniversary in 7 days. Got it. Yeah. Okay, then last time, so on Friday, we launched the first checkpoint of Skeleseller. And for those who didn't see it, it is accessible through itch, although you have to type in the link. It won't show up through search. And people asked me, will it help to rate the game? And I said, I don't know. But I found out since then, the answer is yes, it will help. So I'm not necessarily asking you to. I'm just answering the question from before. So I'm going to delete that. Yeah, so I wanted to look into all of this stuff. I guess let's start by looking at the PR that we have. Close out all this stuff. What am I doing here? Okay. All right, so there was a lot of back and forth on this one. Now I have a quest class, which takes quest ID. Quest stores known items turned in. That counter's been removed from shop. Raises the on quest completed once all items turned in. That are currently unused. Cool. Made a small change to all quest data. Get quest by category now returns a dictionary. And the reason is we're not storing quest ID in quest data. And I needed quest ID later to construct the quest. Decided to return the filtered dictionary entries so I get both types. Both types for displaying the, I think both parts of this. In the dialog box and construct the quest. Okay. Because you return quest data for display and then fetch it again by quest ID. Don't really think it's a problem. I think this potentially points to a problem. I think a quest should just know its ID. Regarding quest IDs, I think this does indeed point to a problem, which is that a quest should probably know its own ID. It's minor and can be addressed in a later PR though. Yeah. Well, a quest. Or perhaps it's better, yeah. Yeah, I'll just cancel. I think that's fine. All right, what else? Quest is fine. Please let me know if that's what you had in mind. Comment reference, I want to tackle 116. I want to tackle 116. Need to look into auto tiles and test the tile map overlays. I think it's quite important. Okay, cool. Yeah. Okay, so I gotta look into that too. All right, then we got a full plan for today and then some overflow. So quest system based on this comment. Let's copy the comment. Yeah, today should be a pretty productive day. I think there's a bunch of stuff I can work on and ways I can kind of provide value here still, even though vacation's coming up. Let me go look at the rest of the files here. I'll take a look at this. I've already reviewed this a couple times now, so I'm just looking through quickly. This looks good. This looks good. Good. Good for now, but I'll probably change that. In fact, let me write this down. Oh man. I'm really excited about checkpoint number 2, by the way. I read through everyone's feedback, and I think there is a lot of stuff that was already planned. Like, there can be concerning feedback. I guess the most concerning would be, this game isn't fun, and I don't see a path for it to be fun. And if you get that from one person, it doesn't matter. If you get that from 5 people, you can kind of argue it's important. If you get it from enough people, yeah, then probably it's not going to do well. And we didn't get that feedback. There were a couple people who said like, yeah, I'm not really feeling the game. And it wasn't a common sentiment. The things that were common were the UX issues, which I know about, some of the bugs, which I wouldn't say I knew about all of them, but now that I know about them, clearly they need to be fixed. That's fine. And then some kind of minor things I would say that would definitely help that weren't on my radar. So I've got a pretty good plan for what we're going to do and when we're going to do it. And now it's just a matter of doing it all. And the problem with that is that I'm about to take a vacation, so I'm going to not be able to do any of it. But when we get back, we will. Hey, Smooth. All right, so copy link. I got to do this too. So make sure to change quest IDs based on this comment. Italicized turn into link. Is that point? Yeah. Well, I am going to be tempted to do stuff while I'm on vacation, but I don't think coding is going to be possible. So I'll probably just kind of manage things, make sure I'm in a good state. I have a bunch of notes I've wanted to file, those sorts of things. That's like very light work. It's almost not even work. But I'm going to try not to overdo it at all. Oh, okay. What was I doing? I was doing something. Right. I wrote a comment about that. Good. All right. So quest takes in a quest ID. Where does this come from? Oh, it's way down there. Isn't that a linting issue? Git pull HPR checkout, probably 128. Yeah. Quest. Oh, weird. Huh. I guess the constructor always comes first. I don't know. Yeah, strange. Okay, anyway, it's fine. I don't mind ordering or anything. I just confused me to see this and not see the field up at the top or the property. Okay, so set this, so this is greater than this, invoke it. Sounds good. Cool. Quest data has a description, a reward, an item category. Yep. All right, quest IDs sounds good. Toggle quest item progress label. Cool. Hey, Fritz. Thanks for the raid and welcome in, everybody. I have been working on Skeleseller for a little over a month now, and on Friday we launched a playable version of it, and we got a bunch of feedback. So I can share the link to the game if you want to play it. And normally I would have asked for more feedback, but I think we've gotten enough where now I need to address it all. So if I go over to here, oh, hey, we got a couple more responses I haven't read actually. Yeah, anyway, this is the most important graph to show, which is the reason I launched a checkpoint at all to test this game out is to see, are people enjoying it? Is it generally on the right path? And yeah, most people seem to be enjoying it. There were no disagrees this time, and there were the last time around. So yeah, today is my last day before vacation. I'm going to be gone for about a month. And I've got a stream this morning and a stream this afternoon. Let me know if you have any questions. Hope the stream was good, Fritz. Hope everyone is enjoying. Totally understand if you want to bail now. But welcome in. We are just merging a PR, so I'm reading through all of this. And then we're going to get started on some other work. And it's going to span a couple of different categories today. All coding, but yeah, different categories within the game. All right, I am probably going to end up taking a look at this stuff. Yeah, this is fine for now. No quests available for the shop. How could this happen? Shopkeep. No quests available. Hey, Broken Crown. Handle accept quest button. I don't know how this could get handled if this is only if the quests are greater than 0. And this checks to see if it is somehow equal to 0. Wait, yeah, how would that happen? I don't know. I don't think it should be possible though. All right, I'll write this down. It doesn't seem like it's possible to hit this code. Is there some case that I'm not seeing, or is this just safety code? Yeah. Hey, Scott. Double checking is always a good idea. Yeah. It's not necessarily a problem to have this here. I think there are cases where you probably wouldn't want this all over. Like imagine if you had, I don't know, functions A, B, and C, and they all need some precondition. Calling the precondition check, like if precondition in every single one of those locations, well, for one, probably points to maybe you should have a function checking this precondition, but also makes you wonder, like, is it possible that these scenarios, should there be some other mechanism for this? And I'm not saying this is always a problem. Maybe you do have the same precondition in three functions and you need to check it in each spot. Could be fine. All right. There are some little things I would change here, but I don't want to be super nitpicky about this. Show new quest indicator. Where is that called? Show new quest indicator. This is on shop upgraded. Okay, yeah, that's fine. Toggle new quest indicator, yeah. All quests are initialized. Okay, cool. I think this is generally good. I left a couple of comments, but I think I'm going to merge no matter what anyway, because I don't think they're super important. Oh, if allowing duplicates or not. I assume yes, then if no more quests were returned from the filter. Oh. Maybe I misread that. Oh, I see. Okay, I misread this. Oh, whoops, I misread the line of code. That makes sense. Yep. Comment and resolve. All right, then there was one other comment I think I left. Oh yeah, this. Yeah, I'll just write edit. Edit, I think this is something I'll change when I get to the quest system. All right, cool. So I think we can merge this. Why can't I click this button? What is going on? There's a lot of like weird little things going on today. I couldn't type into Google Docs at first, then Twitch is in Klingon, and now I can't click this button. How long have I coded for? I've got a puzzle for you to solve in order to answer that question. So I've been coding for a while, but if you want to know my actual age, there's a command for that. Yeah, do I still have the picture? Yeah, look at this. I don't know if this is actually Klingon, but there was a TLH locale, and the closest thing to that seemed like it was Tagalog, but yeah, I Googled this and I didn't see anything show up. Oh, now it's working. Great, cool. Whatever. So merge that. And now we're going to go take a look at some of these other changes I want to make. Yeah, by the way, filing a bug report on Twitch was not easy. Like, there are all these categories that they route you through, but they're mostly for problems that they expect you to have. Things like, I can't log into my account, or I can't, I don't know, ban somebody. You know, things that people typically have an issue with. And not, hey, the schedule widget doesn't work because it's in the wrong language. So I found something close enough and filed it. All right, the thing I want to start with this morning is projectiles. And I don't think we have any good graphics for these, but I also don't want to get caught up on graphics yet. So we're going to just add like a circle or something, and that'll be good enough for now. Because it really can be anything. So I'll just put this in temp. In fact, they could just shoot skeletons at each other for all I care. Do we have any graphics that might kind of sort of work? Oryx had some of them. Maybe we can add in FX. So there are two of these. Can we see the full FX thing? I guess it's that one. We just want to use something like this, maybe. Yeah, it's a fireball. Is there anything maybe better than that or more applicable? No, that's probably pretty good. They could throw bones at each other. Oh, this could work too. Something like that. Yeah, I'm not super concerned about which one of these I end up using. Let's go with that one for now. So I'll just copy paste this in. And, oh wait, that's not how you do this. let me try again. Let's do it through Godot. I probably should link to this. Let me put that here. ACOM roadmap. The general roadmap for the stream is here. And SPX, I'm not sure if this will answer your question. Hey, Free Technic. But let me know, because I'm happy to answer your question. Oh, wait, gotta switch back to this. Okay, should not have any changes. Good. Now we go into Godot, we reload again, and then I put into temp this fireball thing. Let's drag that over there. Did that work? Well, I'll put it in the wrong spot, but it's good enough. All right, let me call this fireball. All right, so that's good. Now, the way that I wanted to do this, first of all, where is the task for this? Projectile. Ding, ding, ding. Okay, let's put this in the current iteration. There we go. Okay, so add projectiles and effects. Projectiles need to check if the target is still alive when they hit. It may make sense for them to track both the target entity and a position in case the target dies while it's in flight. Yeah. And for buffs and debuffs, add these to effect, which would take in a battle and know how to apply it to a given entity. I think the first thing I want to do for this is test it with stealth. Test this with Cloak of Shadows by just reducing the opacity of the player. Maybe even reduce it further based on the level of Cloak of Shadows. That could be kind of interesting. You could have like a 10% opacity or transparency or whatever you want to call it effect that then later gets up to like a 30%. It'd be subtle. I don't know. We'll try that out. So we're going to start with this. Yeah. And I have an idea for how I want to do this. So we need to add a projectile entity. For now, maybe we just make a scene that is fireball. Like, I'm thinking make a projectile. So this could just be a scene with the fireball for now. And we could have proper collision, but I don't really feel like that's necessary. No, we could just check when it's hit the center of the player. Yeah, I think it's fine. Okay, it could just be a scene with a fireball for now. So the way I'm picturing this is, let's actually go into fireball. Oh, also we're gonna need to modify town so that in ready at the bottom of this, we call hire random adventurer, and then we steer the randomness toward the mage. Where is it? Here. So we just put mage up here and rogue down here. We can't keep that, but that'll work for now. Yeah, then in fireball, we're going to do something here that instead of doing damage directly and applying burn directly, it's going to do it on the projectile hit. So we're going to make like a private void on projectile hit. And this is going to take in... Let me think about this. I guess the entity, the target, and the battle system. And all of this stuff is probably going to go there. Yeah. Okay. I think that looks good. Now we want to, well, I guess we could just call this for now. This is a little concerning because it should have automatically fixed this, which either means that there's another problem or that my editor needs to be reloaded. So let's try reloading. All right, now if I save, go. Yep, it fixed. Okay, cool. Yep, just need to be reloaded. All right, so we need to make a projectile and we needed to seek out the enemy. And we have a navigation system, so we could just give this a target. Projectiles are a tiny bit different, and that they're going to pursue a location. I guess entities don't move right now, so I guess it would be fine to do this. So we just need to give a target location component. Okay, let's go take a look at where we make one of these. Get is has remove Where's add? Wait, what? Do we never add one of these? Nope, there it is right there. I just missed it. Yeah. Okay. So this would go into Fireball. So we're going to make a thing here. Have you tried Visual Studio instead of VS Code? Yeah, although Visual Studio is getting like sunset or deprecated or something on Mac as of, I think, August of this year. So I've only used Visual Studio on Windows. And I don't have a problem with Visual Studio on Windows. And I think for languages like C#, it's actually pretty good. But yeah, I'm not going to use something that's going to get turned down in a few months. Rider to the rescue, I guess. Yeah, I think Rider would be interesting to try, but I don't think there's enough of a reason for me to try it at this point. Like, I don't feel like there are some major inefficiencies with what I'm doing with C#. And I think Rider could help with some things for sure, but I just don't think it's worth switching, worth paying. So we need to make a new entity here, and it's got to be added to, I guess, the battle. And the battle is not, oh, the battle is a node. Okay, well, let's try something then. I want to do this kind of hastily right now and just kind of see if we can get this to work. So we're going to say add child. We can just make a sprite 2D here, can't we? Sprite 2D, sprite equals, yeah, new. We want the fireball, which I don't even know where that is. Assets, temp, that's it, assets, temp. All right, scale, I'm not going to change the scale. Z-index, we might want to change that, but let's keep it like that for now. All right, cannot implicitly convert texture to texture 2D. Use trailing comma. Add child sprite. Then add this to the sprite and sprite dot, or no, tc dot on reach target. Yeah, it's something like this. All right. All right, I think this might work. This is wrong. This is completely wrong. This is just target dot position, right? Oh, but target is just a node. Oh, well, we know they're node 2Ds, so we could just do that for now. Node 2D target dot position. There. Oh, we don't need it. Well, yes, we do. All right, let's try that out. I'd be pretty impressed if this just worked. So we're just going to start a battle, and we should see a fireball appear. Oh, it won't appear from the right location, though. Yeah, it's going to appear from way over there. But it kind of worked. Oh, man. How funny. Okay, so right dot position equals node 2D entity dot position. Object can be simplified. Yep. Use trailing comma. Also, yep. Okay, now why was it facing the wrong direction? That part didn't make any sense. Oh, because of the navigation system turning it. Oh, because I guess all the sprites are supposed to be flipped by default. Yeah, we could do that. I mean, it's not really important. Hey, RM Cubic, and hey, Lack. Really, the way we should do this is just make a flag that says don't flip it. Oh, or potentially flip it based on which direction. No, okay, I changed my mind. We should have this work the way it normally works. Well, how do you flip things? I don't even know how to do this. GIMP, H flip. Flip an image. Tools transform. Okay, there. Tools transform. Flip. How does it know which direction of? Oh, neat. Okay, done. All right, now let's export that. Overwrite fireball.png. All right, so now they should face the right way and they should start from the right direction. Or start from the right position, I mean. I see a bunch of errors down there. I'm going to need to fix that. I also should turn off lightning zap so I can just see fireball working. Oh, and then because it keeps hitting the target over and over, it always kills the target, regardless of how much life it had. Well, we gotta fix that too. All right, so set the cooldown of this to 500, so it'll never get used. That is one spicy fireball. Yeah. Now, what are all of those errors that are happening? Cannot access a disposed object. Sprite 2D. What is trying to do this get component? When it reaches its target, the projectile should die. Yeah, I think that's what's happening here. The projectile should die. This should also check to see if the target's already dead. Yeah, we should have something like the projectile knows this stuff. What is it? Health component. If they're dead, just return. Is this not a thing that I can do? Is dead cannot be used like a method. What is it? Is entity dead? Yeah, it's entity dead. So if it's dead, don't do anything. Otherwise, call on projectile hit. And then regardless of whether it was dead or not, this thing needs to be freed. So sprite.queueFree. That should work. Should delete all the issues. It should make it so that only one fireball actually counts. Nope, that's wrong. I don't know why that happened. Why is that just stuck there? Huh. Huh. What is going on there? So we're still getting some issues here. Cannot access a disposed object. The navigation system on line 28. Target location component. Just trying to get this on a no. Oh, wait. Oh. On component removed from entity. It's never removed. It's deleted. Oh, man. This is 4.2, I believe. Godot 4.2. Yeah, all right. This is a problem. I wonder if there's a way to detect this properly. Can you detect that something's going to get cleaned up? Godot destructor on free? Executing code on free. Yeah, if I can do this, then everything should be fine. Notification pre-delete. Callback triggers before the engine deletes an object. That's strange. I've never even seen this before. Godot C# notification. A method that allows it to respond to a variety of engine level callbacks. Oh, wait. Oh, I see. Oh, all right. So notification. So we need this where exactly? This is slightly problematic. Every single entity would need to know that it's in this case. Oh, this is a problem. We would need a queue free in the entity system. Yeah. Can also use tree exited or tree exiting signals. Yeah, that might not be too bad, but we have, okay, here's the real issue, I guess, is I have my own entity component system in this, and our entities are just, like, entity isn't an explicit class. It's just node. So the problem is we need to know when any entity is leaving the scene. But since it's not an explicit class, we would need to check on everything that could be an entity, or we need to handle freeing them differently. So we'd have something like this: public static queue free node entity. And we just call entity.queue_free. But then we go through every component that they have and we remove them first. I don't even, do we have a way of doing that? Yeah, of course we do. We get the container. We can get every component that we have. Yeah. Okay. Well, I guess let's do that. Yeah, if it's null, just return. I guess actually if it's just not null, then get all of the child is component node. They should all be component nodes. Yeah, this is roughly what I want to do. And I don't really care. We can't put T in here because I don't have a type for this. How do I get a component node? Like so. I just want to get all of the nodes that, no, I can't do that either. Wait, 50k cal. Oh, well, set this to void, I guess. Yeah, let's look at component node. This is just something that wraps a component, and we don't have any other way of getting components, I guess. And we want any possible type that we have here. I don't know how to do that. Yeah, well, how do I say I don't care about the type of this thing? I wonder. It's a generic class, so I probably can't do that. Oh wait, oh, I could just say it's a component, right? Oh, yeah, easy peasy. Okay. Then yeah, I think that'll maybe work. We don't even need to free this. All right, let's try this. I still don't like this, but we're getting closer to what maybe looks good. Queue free the sprite. Yeah. Yeah, there'd be a syntax error, I think, if I, oh wait, no, maybe not on a question mark, I don't know. But the way I end up doing it, I think should work. Also, hey, arrow. All right, we working? Is this good? No, we're spewing errors. All right, so still a problem here. We should probably close out of this. This is the same problem and in the same area, which means that I have not removed this properly. That I find peculiar. Let's take a look at this. Container's not equal to null and get all children. And if it's a component node, then call removed from entity. Removed from entity should call this on component removed. Oh, wait, does it not? On component removed? Oh, wow. It's only when you call remove component for that. All right, so that's the problem. I see. There was another thing here that calls removed from entity. Okay, okay, okay. That's fine. We just need to do this stuff. Yeah, is there any other removed that we have in here? I know how we can fix this. Nope. All right, should be easy. So once we have the component, we call this, that, and that, yeah. All right, so private static void remove component from entity. Should be able to fill in everything. Yeah, good. All right, now delete all this. And I want this stuff here. It should be all the same code. Oh yeah, we need a component node as well. Yeah. Component node. So then this line goes down there too. And now we're good. And we just call that remove component from entity. Pass in those two things, delete all that. Oh, it's not called component node? No, it is. What's the problem? Can't convert from T to that. Well, we could just say this is a T. That should work. Yeah. All right, we're getting there. Then we just remove this and we change it to this. So we still have the entity and we have the component node and everything should look good. Let's go try that out. So I think this should delete all those errors that we had, because now we should be properly cleaning up. Looks good from a visual perspective, does not look good from a debugger perspective, and I'm guessing it's the same error. Yeah, it is. Okay, well, I think we'll need to debug this then. Call remove. Let's set a breakpoint here. The only place this is called is for fireballs. So, oops, I can't do things like that. I need to do it through VS Code. All right, just start a battle, wait for the fireball to hit, and then that queue free will be called. We get down to here. There should be at least one component in here. In fact, let's look at container.getChildren. There's just one node. That node should be a target location component, I guess. Yeah. Oh, it's not even a component node. What? What are you? You're just a node? What? Yeah, what? I don't have a way of investigating that any further, do I? Child? Does that still exist? It does still exist. Type of? I'm guessing it's just gonna say node. That's not how I would do that anyway, I guess. I don't know how you... Yeah, it doesn't matter. Oh, there it is. Target location component. How is it not... Interesting. All right, I'm definitely doing this wrong then. Okay, out of curiosity, what if we just change this to target location component? This is going to be broken, but it might be... It might work for this one scenario. And this would shed light on what I need to do. So let's see what's going on there. Okay, that fixed everything. Yeah, good. So then we're calling all the right stuff. I just need to figure out what this should be. I want it to be anything that inherits from component. I guess one way of doing this would be putting a T here and then saying just that line, deleting all this stuff and putting the T over here. I think that would work, but this is a little strange. And now in this, we need to say queue free. I don't even know what we say actually. Yeah, this is just gonna be the same problem I was just doing. All right, yeah, I gotta figure this out. Never done game dev. It's a lot of fun. You should give it a shot. What's the problem? So the problem is I need to, let me go back to what we had here. I need to iterate over all the component nodes we have, but component node is a generic class. And I don't know how to get all of them regardless of what its holding is. Oh wait, maybe this doesn't even matter. Can I just say child here? No, you still have a problem using the generic type. Are you calling free somewhere instead of queue free? I am in some spot, yeah, but I don't think that's the problem right now. Yeah. I think the problem here is just I need the right type of component node, but it's a generic class, so it can only hold something like this. Hey, Tejas. Hmm. Let's see, taking the component. No other way to generically get this, right? C# use generic class with any object. I don't know. Yeah, I'm not even sure what I'm searching for. What do I want to do exactly? Yeah, I want to iterate over all these and get whatever type it had. Can we cast this here? Of type component node T? I guess we can, but then you need to pass this in. Oh, wait. Excuse me. What am I doing? Maybe. No, yeah, I already tested this. Oh, I don't know. Yeah, I don't know. Not be inferred from the usage. Try specifying types correctly. T colon component. Could I just have this be a component? And delete this stuff? No. Oh, man. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know what I'm supposed to do here. I don't want there to be generics on this, but I need this to be something like, well, maybe there's a way to specify this. C#, specify generic type extends another type. I think you do that in the method itself. Yeah, is there an equivalent of this? Is class T where T? Hmm. Yeah, this is what I wanted, and this works, but the problem is that then we need to call Q free with a type. So if I put this here, that colon shouldn't be there. And then same thing down here with remove component from entity. This, oh, that's already correct. So why does it think this is wrong? I guess we could have just done an if here. Yeah. Then we don't even need this. Ah, I don't know. Yeah, then I just don't know what we pass into the Q free call itself. This would just be some like a question mark extends component that we would want here. All right, let me try something else for a sec. Let's just write test in there. Public static void queue free test node entity. So there's no way to call queue free component entity. Yeah. That's the closest I'd be able to get. And even then, I think this is a mistake because I think we're going to run into the same issue we just ran into. Do you want to remove all components of some type or just all? You could remove the components node. I want to go through each component and make sure that we're freeing it properly. Yeah, and this is going to keep messing up because it doesn't know to free this. Although, why doesn't it? I guess because it says it's not a component node holding a component. I need some way of saying that this is just something that extends from component without genericizing this method. And yeah, in Java, I know for sure this is doable. There's the question mark extends thing. I wonder if there is a different way of doing that too. C# Java extends without modifying the method. I think the question mark is throwing this off. Just search for question mark. Yeah, so this, if this were possible here, this would be perfect. Constraints on type parameters. T : base class name, interface name, yeah. It's so close to what I want. Actually, I think there's another way of doing this, which would be kind of cheating here. But if I just said that this returns a T, even though I don't care that it returns a T. No, you'd still have to genericize this, right? Yeah. Huh. You think you did something similar? You have this, I want to see. Create a new class and have that be a generic on the original. That might work. I don't know, hard for me to picture. But yeah, I guess we could try that. What would I even do this for? Yeah. Yeah, this would be a little strange, I think. Alternatively, what we could maybe do. Well, anyway, I should take a break and then I should come back and try to figure this out. What's the hesitation with making the method generic? Because the fireball class would then need to specify what should be queue freed here. Like it would need to say that it's a target location component, for example. But really, we want to free any component that's on the entity. And this just happens to be one of them. So I want a generic way of saying just get rid of all the components that we have. There's maybe another way we could do this, but this is getting a little bit more complicated, but we could store every component inside of like a well-known node that we have. I don't know. All right, I'm gonna just write this down for here. Where T : component, you don't need to specify the T. I might be misunderstanding that. You can't put a where clause on just an arbitrary statement, right? Yeah. If I could do that, I think that would be fine. In queue free itself. I have it here already. This part's working fine. Like this code's not the problem. The problem is how do I call this and just say I want anything that extends component. Remove node? No. This has to be a node. This part has to be a node. Otherwise, we can't get things on it. That part's fine. I think the problem I'm having is just how would I call queue free without specifying a generic thing here? And yeah, maybe making a new class is the way I've got to do it. So I got to test that out. Where I left off, figure out how to call queue free without a generic. Maybe try making a class that wraps it. All right, I'll be right back. I got to take a break. Is it jump time? It's jump time. Congratulations, Zanis. first place win. And Scott, first third place win. Close the game. I wonder if this indicates a bigger problem here. Like, what do we have going on? We have nodes that are really entities. Then we have a container node. Where is that container node? Container. Yeah, this itself is just a node. Yeah. Where did I write my notes so far? Yeah. We have a container under that, which is also a node. And then under that container, we have a bunch of component node T, e.g. component node, health component, money component, whatever else. So we could just remove components from the tree and put them in the container. Honestly, I think I'm leaning toward doing this. I don't feel like we gain anything by having them be in the scene tree. And even the only thing we could potentially gain is being able to see in the remote tree what components we have. But we could still do that. We could just, well, we could probably still do that. I'll show what I'm talking about over here. So if I go to remote, excuse me, and then we go to town and container and all this stuff. So if we go to, let's say, workers, we have a components node here, and here you can see whatever the worker is doing. So right now it's wandering around, so it has a target location. And adventurers have a bunch of other components. I have adventurer, abilities, health, and battle stats. None of these need to show up here. And if we just put them in the components tree, we could just have, well, I guess there is maybe partially a reason to do it, which is if you could inspect any of their properties, but you can't, I think, right? Yeah, there is no inspecting this. Like we have a health component, but how would you see the health that it has? It doesn't just immediately emit this into the inspector. So there's probably a way to do this. And we probably don't care about this at all anyway, because I haven't been using this at least. Why do you need generics at all for that method? The method should be iterate over any child from a known class, node, no. And then if the child is of some subtype, we do things, but that doesn't seem generic at all. Yeah, I don't think we should need it either, but there's no way to use my component node class without generics. Like it is a generic class. So I want to say give me all the component nodes regardless of the generic type. But yeah, I don't think we can do that. Yeah, it needs export and then we'd be able to see it all. We'd probably need to customize this a little bit, but yeah, I think if we made that change, I think everything would just work. This represents a somewhat big change though to the entity component system. Yeah, put them in the container. If we did put them in the container, what would that look like? We would just have component, like a list of components, I guess. Yeah, that would work. It'd probably just be a dictionary, actually. This would also improve performance. When calling children, iterating, and then checking for get type or get generic type definition be enough? I'm not sure. So where's the code? Yeah, here. So we can call get children, that part's fine, but then I don't know how to check to see if it's a component node. I like we have to use a generic for this. If I just delete the generic, it complains and says you're using a generic type without a type argument. And this type is actually what I want, but then that makes this function be a generic function as well. And it sort of poisons the call stack such that everything needs to be generic. Get generic type definition. I don't know what that is, so let me see. Get children. Get type. What is that? What would this even be part of? System. Oh, I see. It returns a type. Oh. Okay, I think I see. Get type. Get generic type definition. Turns a type object that represents a generic type definition from which the current generic type can be constructed. Maybe all I want is if type equals component node. Can't do that though, right? Is this okay, that apparently works. But then component node doesn't exist in this context. And this won't work. Yeah, how would I use this then though? Like I want to be able to get yeah, I'm not sure how this would function after that. Like I could write this if statement, but then how do you get the underlying component node? I still think I'm leaning toward just changing this so that there's no need for any generics anywhere here. That we just get rid of this component node altogether. This type just ceases to exist and we just fetch our components differently. Yeah. Yeah, I think that's what I'm going to do. Because I don't think we really benefit by being able to view these in the scene tree. And I suspect this is just going to keep getting more and more complicated. So let's undo all this stuff. Let's see, how do I want to do this? I guess let's just delete all of QFree for right now. And then delete this and this and this and this. There. Okay. Now, instead of doing things this way, let's delete all this too. Let's just call on projectile hit. All right, so this does not spawn a fireball anymore, but it still does damage. We shouldn't see any errors, I hope. So we see damage numbers appear. Yep, looks good, no errors. All right, now I'm gonna go change the entire ECS, and we're gonna get rid of this concept of containers. So component node shouldn't exist. And what did this do exactly? It literally was just a container for a component. All right, let's go delete it. That'll cause a bunch of errors, which we can then go fix. Yep. Cool. So this is just going to be the component itself, I guess. Component. We don't need that anymore. We don't need that. Good. And then this get component node wouldn't be needed either. Where was this used? In a few different spots, but I think we can delete it all. Yeah. Okay, component node. All right, so now getting a component would be changing the container so that it stores all of its components in memory. So now it needs to be a special type of node. All right, sure. So this is not going to be a node anymore. All right, let's go save this somewhere. I guess here, new file, component holder. All it's going to be, or we could call it components, but that'd probably be confusing. Yeah. So this is going to be public class component holder colon node partial namespace and import Godot. Okay. Then when we make the container, if it's null, we make a new component holder, which I guess means this needs to also change. Cool. Yeah, looks good. All right, everywhere we try getting the container needs to look the same way. Good. And anywhere else? Throw if null, get tree, get nodes and group, that's all fine. All right. Oh wait, no, that part should have been a node. I think. Yeah. Yeah, yeah. Wait, let me just make sure that I wasn't going crazy there. Yeah, this is a town, yeah. All right, next up is the component node change. Yeah, so this is gonna be gone. So we don't add this anymore. Yeah, so this would be container.add component. Now we need to go make that method. Add component T where this equals. This doesn't really need to be generic, right? Yeah, I think it can just be component. Hey, Paisley's voice. Combi oven. What is a combi oven? What is this? I don't even. Is it this? Huh. Yeah, I don't know. Can't help you there. Cooking up something different. So we need to keep track of private. Actually, how do I want to do this? I guess I want to make public a dictionary maybe. This is going to be somewhat complicated. So how do we store this originally? We stored it as a list. Let's store it as a list for now. Components, get private set. So add component is just going to be components.add. Whoops, put that back there. Put it back. All right, good. List should be read-only collection, keyed collection, etc. And this should be changed, I guess. Collection. Yeah, I guess it doesn't really matter. All right, so there we go. Add child in the container. This is just going to be the component. Oh, it's not add child though. What? It's add component. Oh, did I delete the wrong thing? Yeah, I did. Okay, good. Then what's this? Get a component node. That's not a thing anymore. Get component out of the entity. So this is going to be to get the container now. There it is. Then we say get a component of a particular type. Public, well, I guess we can do that too, but we probably want a get. Maybe it'll write it for us. Public void or T get component. Yeah, that'll work. Okay, so now return. Wait, this assumes that it exists and throws if it's null. Okay, yeah. So this just turns into a component T question mark. Component equals component dot get. What happened there? Oh, this. This is a component holder. Yeah, that's why this didn't autocomplete. Whew, we're getting there. Almost, almost, almost. This is not a thing. This actually isn't needed either, right? This is a T question mark. There. Then get or null needs to be the same general way. This just doesn't have a throw if it is null. Yeah. Yeah, in fact, we can just return this. Chat help. I'm sorry, I can't be more help. I feel like this is something you could easily Google for, though, right? And what'd you just say to me? Thanks for the resub. Welcome back. I think we're almost done with this. So now we're removing a component. How does this work? We get the component holder. So this is not how this works. This is component holder. Components node. And then we just say components node dot remove. Then we can just pass in the component, right? What are we removing here? T? Oh, this needs to be something like this. T component. Come on, type it out. T is not used in the method, yeah. T. Wait, what? I don't have the component here. And I guess we only have one of a particular type, so I guess it's get component first. Components node dot get component. This shouldn't be necessary though. I should be able to just delete this and say this here, get component. T, yeah. Possible null reference. I guess we could check if it exists first. Yeah. Fine T question mark component. And then if it's null, just return. Otherwise return or remove it. No manual, no name of the oven. Well, the other thing you can do is just put it in and measure the internal temperature. Although you might ruin one, I guess. What's handling predictive text? It's Copilot. All right, so now we can just call the remove on this. Good. All right, we're getting there. Oh, man. All right, remove component from entity. What does this do? Why did we need a T passed in here? Oh, I added this, right? Yes, I did. And we're not calling this yet. Okay, so if I did everything correctly, and there is no guarantee of that, the game should just work as it normally did, and there shouldn't be any errors. Yeah, sure thing, Snow Day. I really like Copilot. I think it helps a lot. All right, no, we already have some errors. What's going on here? Line 61. We're calling get component, but something is null. That probably means we're not storing it correctly. Well, you win some, you lose some. Where else do we have this? Navigation system is trying to do this. Target location component. Maybe we're not removing something correctly. Navigation system 28. This is target location component. Yeah, this would imply that we're not removing things correctly. All right, so where's remove component? Oh yeah, I just deleted a bunch of stuff that I never, whoops. Yeah, whoops. Where's remove? Yeah, all of this, a lot of this was important. And I was just like, nope, I'm deleting it. Okay, so after removing it, we have to call, I guess we need the component in order to know what we're removing here. Yeah. Component, actually it's just a T question mark. Component equals get. And if it's null, don't do anything. If it exists, I guess in this case, we can just remove it. Component. Don't need that. Don't need any of that. Looks good. We're getting there. All right. Remove from group, component.name. Looks good. There's no need to free a node. And then invoke that, yeah. Okay, now I think we should be error free. How many people are working on it? Check out the credits. Yeah, I guess the Skell command has a lot of that too. And then am I the owner? Yeah. Yeah. All right, do we have any errors? No, we don't. Everything looks like it's working pretty well. Let's go just create a whole bunch of stuff. So grant money, add customers, hire workers, upgrade storerooms, start another battle, hire adventurers, level them up, improve their skills. We lost. Oh, because I disabled one of the mage's abilities? Oh, we can just force a win by leveling them up a ton. All right, any errors? No, it looks like everything's working fine now. So we've successfully transitioned over to this world of storing components differently. This on its own would be a commit. So we should probably go do that. Yeah, how are you supposed to do that? You'll never be able to praise me again. All right, we don't want to check in that stuff. This I want to check in. This is a way of storing components in memory rather than storing them in the scene tree. And I think this is just a smarter way of doing things. Yeah. I think having an entity class would be really helpful, though. And I don't think it's going to be possible to do that. Add an entity has a component. Okay, no, we could. Well, we'd have some weird things going on there. All right, whatever. I think this is good. Okay, delete this thing too. What else do we have in here? So get rid of these. We're going to want back eventually. So queue free. I'm just going to copy paste out of here for now. And same thing with that other commented out function. So these are things I want to add in later. But yeah, I think we're looking good. All right, so just these couple of changes. Is there a difference between equals null and is null in C#? Checks if the result of an expression is compatible with a given type. I think when comparing against null, compiler guarantees that no user overloaded equals sign is invoked. Oh, so this is okay. Well, I guess it depends on what we want exactly, but I think saying is null is probably better. Okay, so container, I see this happening a lot in here. I'm going to try to change this. Components holder. Holder, container, yeah. So search for all of these. This we can rename to container. Why does that happen? There's some like weird thing going on there where it presses enter when I don't want it to. That's already named container. This can be container as well. Okay, now, should we have a way of getting that container? Get node or null component holder component node name. Yeah, I would say so. Yeah. Private static component holder get component holder. This is just going to be a very simple one-liner here. And then everywhere that we called this, we're going to replace. This is, yeah, this is fine. Then here too, I missed one. Okay, so now that should only show up here. Good, 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 good. It's not like it's a lot of complexity, but at least it's hidden in one function now. Or contained to one function, I should say, not really hidden. Yeah, it looks like everything's fine. I'll speed this up a little bit. Yeah. Cool. Let's check that in. So I want this, this, and this. Yeah. Notice that add next item display methods are identical in storeroom and shop. Are we leaving this for now? Yeah, there's a task I have that says to refactor that. But yeah, for right now, it's not super important, I think. Hey, Malmsey. How you doing? Yeah, this is gone. We need this in the, yeah, so I should probably write a comment for this. There we go, much better. I've shown my wealth. So holds components, since there's no common entity class in the game, since we use Godot nodes, well, Godot's inheritance system. As a result, the components in the entity component system need to be stored somewhere. So storing it as a well-known child in the scene tree is how we manage this. Gonna leave. All right, take care, French monkey. Hope you have a good next month or so. And thank you. All right, let's finally check this in, and then let's see if this helped us at all. So revamp ECS. Components are no longer stored in nodes. Well, I should say it this way. Components used to be stored in a well-known container node, and then in individual component nodes therein. Now they're just stored in memory in the container node. All right, going back a step, we can now go code this stuff into the ECS. Uh-oh, that does not look good. Was that? What happened? Something's going wrong here. Yeah, there's a whole bunch of weird stuff going on. All right, let's paste this here. So we have Q free. This is going to need to change all of this stuff, but we're getting closer to what I want to actually have here. So now we undo this, undo that. All right, let's go take a look at what Q free should do. So we go through the container, and now instead of get children, we're going to get all components in there, which I guess is public anyway, so we can just get it. So we can just say component in container components. Now, if that doesn't work, then it means that I named this wrong. Yeah, I did. All right, this should be component holder, and this should be get component holder. Good, good, good. We're getting there. And then remove this. Perfect. Perfect. It's all working. All right. I think we're done. Yeah, I think we're done. Okay. Well, that took a long time. Oh, let's try it out. So we should see fireballs hit the targets and no errors happen. That's 200 errors is fine. But if we had 300, all right, we're at 300 now. It's a problem. All right, what's going on here? Cannot access a disposed object. This is coming from ECS 143. Get component holder. Where's that coming from then? Okay, I have too many tabs open. Yeah, just don't save. ECS 55. This is get component, which must be coming from the navigation system, yeah. Which means that remove isn't being called correctly. Which means I messed something up here. Maybe biased as a programmer programs things. Do you believe anyone can learn to be an effective programmer, or do you believe you have to have something that can't be taught, at least without immense effort compared to others? A way of thinking, being able to... Okay, so there's one extreme where, let's say you have a literal learning disability or an incapability of learning, like imagine a very low IQ person, then yeah, I don't think you could learn programming, but I think there'd be sort of obvious signs that you probably couldn't learn very much. So assuming we're talking about just, average person, can you learn programming? Yeah, I think so. I think that the barrier for entry has greatly reduced with the introduction of many resources, programming languages, tools, analyzers, etc., to the point where it's a lot easier than it was, say, 20 or 40 years ago. And I don't know if the question is going so far as to ask, like, could everyone be an expert at it? Probably not. But I think it's almost like math. Like if you think people could learn geometry or trigonometry or basic calculus, I feel like you could learn programming. What does this button do? Thank you for the resub, Darkstorm. So yeah, I do think there are people who probably can't learn programming, but I don't think that the average person couldn't learn programming. So what have I done wrong? We marked that it was removed. We removed them from the group. Then we called this. This is what should tell the navigation system that we no longer care about this entity. Yeah, if component is target location component. I wonder if that part's failing. Let's try it out. Hang on a second. Excuse me. Okay. I want to get a proper cough instead of just clearing my throat constantly. So it hits there, it breaks into this. This should go into the navigation system. So we should get called into this. Good. Now the component should be a target location component. It is. So we should go into this if statement down here. We don't. What? Oh, whoops. It's an ordering problem. Oh my God. We never actually removed this from... Yeah, whoops. Okay. Yeah, whoops. What did I do over here then? Remove component. Entity.remove from group. Component. Container. That's not happening anymore. Okay. Well, that explains that. So this is the container. We need the container to be up here. The container can't possibly be null, I guess. So all of that happens. And then what is this doing? Get component. All right, so we're going to technically do this twice, I guess, right? All right, let's try that out. Do I have red tape? It's a ring. And it's not a special ring or anything. It's just a silicone ring. How's it going, Funky Monkey? Think it takes a type of mindset and a way of thinking about things to have the drive to learn programming deeply? Yeah, the drive to do it is a different question, I think, for sure. I think the average person is capable of a ton of different things, and that they won't have the drive to do 95% of those things, but that doesn't mean they're not capable of it. So like we could all probably be better swimmers and better programmers and better chefs. And some people want to do some subset of that and some people won't. Can the average person know enough programming to be paid enough? I think they could, yeah. I think that if the average person did try to know enough programming to be paid enough, that it would change the job landscape, and then we'd run into like a parallel universe where there wouldn't be enough jobs. I feel like I'm struggling with the difference between memorizing syntax and knowing how to program. Like I know JavaScript, C#, some Golang, but I don't feel good enough at any after 7 years to do a whole project fully solo. Okay, so ADHD can actually be a huge barrier for this, Melmsy. And I can't speak about this as an expert. So all I can say is that it can certainly have an impact. But as for the rest of this stuff, for one, I think using an AI tool to get over the syntax part would be a great idea. Yeah, so there's no need to memorize syntax with a good enough AI and like proper analyzers and linters. And then the other thing I would say is at some point it's to start addressing gaps in knowledge. You said, I don't know if I could do a whole project solo. Like, why not? And is it a scope thing? Is it like, well, after 6 months of coding, I get into an unmaintainable mess? And it's like, okay, well, that's probably a way of learning something like design patterns or maybe testing, or maybe, I don't know, documentation. It could be anything. Not a special ring. It's symbolic of something special. It doesn't do anything though. Hey, coffee. Perhaps the paradigms of instruction set and design patterns change in the future, so becoming effective might change in the future. I think in terms of languages and design patterns, I think they're probably mostly going to be here to stay for a while. So I wouldn't probably concern myself too much with that. I think how we treat software and how we develop it might change a bit, but I don't think that's going to be for a little while. Hey, Juicebox. Hey, Davey. Something I should reflect on for sure, like my Unity recent game I was making just hit some roadblocks and my own tech debt started in front of my eyes. And I was putting out more fires and learning or creating at a certain point. Yeah. So there are patterns for why this is happening. And if you can find out the cause of those patterns, you can start to address them. But if you don't understand the cause of those patterns, then yeah, it'll always seem like a project gets big enough. And then it becomes more of a frustration to work on. And this is paired with another phenomenon too, which is that any project getting bigger makes it harder to keep all the parts in your head. And any project that goes long enough will have frustrations. Even if you're a genius super coder, like you'll still have issues you didn't foresee. And at that point, it's just how do you overcome the issues? So there are a couple things I think you're butting up against, but I think the most important one is what is the pattern in your software development that's leading to these problems? Yeah. All right, did I get this working and I just like didn't even look at it? Because that's entirely possible. All right, we should have a little fireball travel across the screen. And it broke. What happened there? Queue free. Collection was modified. Oh, I see. Yeah. We're removing the components as we're iterating over them. So I probably just need to duplicate this. Container.components. New collection. Container.components. Component. Can you do this? Yeah, I think you can do this. What did I just miss? There it is. X4, thanks for resubing. My prime checkbox is not hit anymore. Oh, they changed that? Nice. I wonder if there were enough complaints or something. Also, I don't think scope creep, I don't know if I answered this already, but I don't think scope creep is necessarily a problem in terms of getting frustrated with stuff. I think scope creep is a problem, but it's a problem that leads to like longer completion times, maybe a diluted product or something like that. But it's not necessarily more frustration. You can add 40 features to something and feel like, okay, there's no more tech debt. I'm doing all this fine. I'm designing them in a good enough way. But 40 features is going to make it take a long time. So yeah, I don't think that on its own is a problem. I don't think that on its own is a problem that's stopping you from like feeling like you can tackle a whole project. I don't think I'm muted, Jordy. I think I'm good. Yeah. Yeah, and what Aro said is, I think, really important too. This bit about it might be perfectionism blocking you. I think there are lots of hobby projects won't get completed, and I think one of the reasons is trying to go for perfect code. I think you need code that doesn't hold you back and is good enough for your current requirements. And I think this is a problem that I've seen some people struggle with, and myself included sometimes in the past, is you know what your requirements might be in the future. Like, hey, I'm making a game. What if I eventually have a crafting system? Well, if you don't have a crafting system now, coding for a crafting system is going to take a lot of time, a lot of thought, and why deal with that yet? And what this leads to, though, is that when you do have a new requirement, it's then being able to make changes to your code base at the time that you need the change. So we just did this right now in this code base. I ran into a problem where I was like, you know what? We need this entity component system to be different. And I just changed it. And now I will hopefully be able to proceed. I mean, I've been struggling a little bit with the errors I'm getting. Another coder stream chat. I never normally see other streamers do that. Yeah, I tend to only hang out on other people's streams when I'm working out or when I raid them. I don't watch a lot of Twitch. So I was probably working out at the time. Yeah. It's not like I can go, hey, indie programmer, I have ideas and can't pay you, but let's team up and implement them. Yeah, I agree. I think the other thing that comes out of this is learning from other experienced software developers. So let's say you get, problem X and you come up with design Y and then you come up with code Z for it. That's what you'll do, but someone else might take the same problem and come up with like design Y prime and code Z prime. And if you think about a problem from the beginning and you come up with a solution yourself, you'll know what the thought process is that you got into, such that when you see their design, you're like, oh man, I never even thought of doing things that way. Or you see the code and you're like, whoa, this is way more elegant than what I was doing. Then I feel like that helps you adapt your own mindset better because you thought through the problem yourself first. And I don't know a good replacement for this if you don't have people reviewing your code or helping out in some way. And if you're not doing a lot of the programming, I don't think you can just drop in like 60% completion to a project and be like, oh yeah, this looks interesting, or I wouldn't have done things this way. It'd be a little overwhelming to do that. Yeah, yeah, definitely, Mumsy. I think figuring out why you stopped or what you felt even, I think that's really important. And then seeing how you can improve. The other thing I would suggest, there is a free web book called Game Programming Patterns. And if you just scroll down to web, read now. Yeah, this. So this book is completely free and contains a bunch of programming patterns. And I think they use C++ as their language. But just getting an idea for what these are and why you would use them, I think is a really good idea to read through these. Another programming context are you. We do vastly different things and some web developers I work with. Open source can be a good way to start. There are lots of projects that want contributors. But I think finding someone else to work with on a project who, I don't know, it's hard to say. Only because the way I ended up getting this experience is through professional jobs where it's just the nature of the job. Like if you work at a company like Microsoft, you're going to have people who are smarter than you, not smart, people who are more experienced than you and people who are less experienced than you. It's just practically a guarantee when you have that many, hundreds or thousands of developers. Yeah. Okay. I'm not super concerned about how long this is taking, but I did expect it to be a little bit faster. So what am I doing wrong here? We remove the component, then we call this. Yeah, I guess let's just debug this again. Now there will be an afternoon stream today. I've got another maybe hour and a half I can stream in the morning. Oh, that's not what I wanted. Wait a second, what? What was this called? What was this called? Oh, whoops, I know why. I don't care about this. I care about, where's Q free? Yeah, this is what I care about. Okay, so hit the play button there and delete this and go over to, I don't know which game is which, but we'll just click start battle in both of them. And only one of them is started from VS Code, so we'll hit that one. It's probably this one. Yeah. Okay, this is the code I expect. Now we get to here. We get the container. Good. Remove the component. Remove it from the entity, which shouldn't do anything in this case. Remove the entity from the group, and then call this function. This function should take us into the navigation system, which should be here. And the component should be a target location component. It is. So we should go into this. Yes. Good. Good. Now that should not have whatever entity that was. which would be the fireball sprite, which is going to be practically impossible to tell from here unless we can see the texture. Can we see the texture? Well, this is a customer, so it's definitely not that. This is a customer. This is an animated sprite? I don't even know what would be animated. What are you? You're a worker. Oh, yeah. Workers are animated. And this must be another customer. Yeah, so then there are no more target location entities. So we eventually get into this line. And this fails with... What does that fail with? I don't actually know. Collection was modified. That shouldn't be a problem. Yeah, that shouldn't be a problem. I should have cloned this. Huh. All right, let's try again here. Can you just clone a collection? Oh, copy to. Copies the entire collection to a compatible one-dimensional array. I'll just look this up, C# copy collection. You can use the constructor that already exists, and then in your clone, create a new list for the new collection. I thought you could just use the constructor. But I guess there's copy to get a list. Copy to a one-dimensional array. Is it supposed to be named removed from entity? Seems like it would return a Boolean. Yeah, well, that's something a little different. This is almost like an event system for any components that need to add sprites. I hate coding projects in university that seem like free labor distributed outside. I guess I have a slightly different view on this, Sakurai. I feel like if a university is trying to get free labor, they probably aren't going to use students to do it because the students are learning. Like I imagine, well, I don't know. I guess it depends on the university project. Maybe you got an internship or something. Hard to find a device like this online. Oh, no, that's totally fine, Melmsy. Yeah, fine with that. Close the debug console and inspect from the left panel if you don't use the log. Takes 50% of your screen. I think I did change that. I wonder what that shortcut is. The iterator is invalidating when remove is called. But that's why I was trying to clone the collection so that I wouldn't have a concurrent modification here. And yeah, this works, and I thought this would clone it. Any if statement if it's then looping through and mutating the clone. I think this should be fine. Oh, and debugging. Oh, I see. Okay. Well, let's try this again. Because this as a problem should not be that hard to solve. Let's see what's happening. Should see the fireball. Good. And then, yeah, it breaks. And then breaks again and again and again. I think it's the same thing, right? Collection was modified. And this is coming from line 124. Maybe I don't understand what's going on with this. No, that collection shouldn't change though. Oh, maybe it only points at the original one. Oh, okay. That's possible. All right, well, let's do this for now. Let's do list components equals. Actually, I don't even know if we do anything with that. And then this dot copy to. Oh, we could do it this way. Name components does not exist. No, yeah, I don't think that's a thing. No argument that corresponds to the required parameter index. What does index represent? What is index? Zero-based index in array at which copy begins. Oh, zero. Cannot convert from generic list to component. Okay. We can do that. Use of unassigned local variable. Can we do that? Yeah, we can. All right, let's try that out. I don't know. I want to do this differently when I eventually do this for real. Okay, well, that didn't work. But that probably didn't work for a different reason. Nope, it is for that reason. Destination array was not long enough. Oh, you need to actually make it the proper size. Okay. I thought it would do that for me. Now let's speed this up. Yeah, cool. Now it's working. Great. Well, that's all fixed. Oh yeah, and then I wanted to try out what Darkstorm was saying about command tilde tilde or command backtick backtick. Okay, I think I did change it, unless I need to pause. No, yeah, I think I changed whatever it is. Yeah, oh, I see. Okay, yeah. I have a bound to control backtick as well. At least this console. And I do use that to close this. But I thought you were talking about something else. All right, this works. And since this is only on queue free, I think this isn't so bad, but I don't know. All right, let's go back to Fireball now. So what's going on here? When this reaches its target, we queue free the entity. And anytime we're going to delete an entity, we need to do this. And this also needs to check if this thing is dead. So I think what we should do is we should have a projectile sprite which wraps this stuff and then just has an on projectile hit function. Or on projectile reached target, something like that. Does it make sense for a projectile to ever somehow hit two things? I don't think so. And it doesn't always probably even make sense for the projectile to free itself. Like there could be some sort of chain lightning thing. And maybe it fades out rather than freeing. I don't know. There's a lot to consider there. But I think we should take a break and then come back and think of how I want to do this. So where I left off, check in what I've done, and then eventually make it easier to create new projectiles. Maybe try adding, I don't know, what else? What other abilities in the game even need a projectile? Trying to think. Strike, Cloak of Shadows. The lightning zaps, I guess? Those would probably be a little bit different though, since I think they'd just be instantaneous. Whoa. I don't think I've ever even seen someone do that. Melmsy, thank you. Gifted 6 months of a tier 1 sub. Yeah, thanks. Yeah, I really hope you find a way through this, Melmsy. And I'm happy to help too. So hopefully Aro can. I didn't even know that was possible. So maybe try adding another projectile. All right, like I said, I'm going to take a break. And then we're going to do another hour. And then I probably need to get going. And I'll come back for the lunch stream. But for now, just a break. I'll be right back. Is it jump time? How dare you not answer me, computer? Is it jump time? It's jump time. What does the streamer do during break? Mostly just go use the bathroom, get some water. I never really used to take breaks. I used to just barrel through as long as I could, and then eventually, I mean, take a bathroom break if I needed to. But yeah, I think that led to burnout a little bit more. Close the game. All right, let's keep going to this. I want to check in what I've done here. So Fireball itself got a bunch of code that for now I think is worth checking in, but I want to make this easier to use in the future. Lightning Zap should not be checked in. The ECS. Yeah, technically every queue free that we call might need to go through this. Let's close all these tabs first. Yeah. Queue free. Let's look through all of these. Those are all fine. This is fine. This is fine. Instance probably doesn't have components, so I think this is fine. You know, I kind of want to try this though. Let's try something here. Let's do ECS dot queue free on the instance. This shouldn't break anything. This shouldn't even be needed, but it also shouldn't break anything. So if I just do this and hit increase game speed, this will eventually end, and as long as there are no errors, yeah, I think we're good. The red text you might have seen show up is just that I didn't have enough items. That's not a coding error, that's a game error. Yeah, I think technically this should be here. Like we should free every entity the same way. So same thing here, free the customer. Are you trying to spawn a projectile and remove it when it reaches the target? Can't you just make a scene for special effects and free them? So, all right, this is a little bit more complex than that, I guess. Projectiles need to have like a creation and then a target, and when they reach the target, apply something, do something. And in this case, it's do damage. So this concept of they have a target and they can reach the target, that sounds a lot like our target location component and the navigation system. So projectiles are entities, and they need to have their components removed when they reach the target. And that was the problem that led to all of this, because the navigation system keeps track of when a target location component was added or removed. So the projectile needed to free itself in such a way that deleted it, but I don't want every projectile to know that it has to do that. So we just changed how queue free works. And I should probably add a comment for this. Freeze the given entity by first removing all of its components. This is necessary so that any systems that listened to... How do you link to code? I don't remember how you link to code, but I did this in one spot. I don't know. C# link to code in doc comment. cref. Yeah, this. Okay, so this is added, what's it called? On component added. So any component that listen to on component added, listen to this and or on component removed need to be updated. Oh, can update which entities are tracking. Yeah, there we go. So now I don't know how you, that's weird. I guess it's not a link like an actual link, but at the very least, this means that now if I rename on component added, this comment will be updated. Yeah. Okay, I'm happy with that. I think we're going to keep this here. Oh yeah, that's what I want to write. This is safe to call. This is safe to call even for entities that have no components, i.e. it can be used as a replacement for Q3. Yeah. If I put this up here and I do this, I think it'll make the code a little bit more readable. Oops, that was supposed to be up here. Okay, I don't know how I just deleted that, but whatever. Okay. So I'm going to keep this fireball code in for now. I don't like it, but I'm going to change that right after this. And that way we just have a point to go back to in source control. This stuff all looks good. Yep. And then this and this also need to be checked in, but not all of this code, just this. Stage that. Good. Yeah, I don't want to change the classes. Although really, what do I care even if I did? It's not like I'm going to keep it that way. But I think we're good now, right? Yeah. Okay, so add first projectile. This code still needs to be cleaned up a bit, but it provides, yeah. But now the mage shoots a fireball sprite at a target before it does damage. Cool. You don't typically use new lines, only para, but that's a bit tedious. We don't generate docs anyway. Yeah, and if we ever did generate documents, I feel like adding in those lines wouldn't be too bad. Because this is the same thing that happened in Java. It's like every comment turns into this giant XML blob that becomes really hard for you to read unless you're hovering over something and you see how it's supposed to be rendered. I never liked that. Okay, so now we want to clean this up. So I feel like there should be a projectile scene and we just tell it what its sprite is supposed to be and where it's supposed to be positioned. So yeah, maybe let's go do that. And it really would just be a sprite, right? In fact, do we even need to make a scene? We could just attach a script. No, yeah, we can make a scene. Okay, here's what I'll do. Go to scene, new scene, make a node. This will just be a node 2D. We'll call this projectile. And we'll save that in scenes. Yeah, sure, here. Projectile. Then we'll attach a script. Source/scene script. Sure. And then in here, we'll have an init that takes in a texture and a position. Public void init string texture path vector to position. Okay. Now do pretty much all this stuff. Except for not all that stuff. I'm going to change this. So we make a sprite. And this is going to be the texture path. Okay, then we add that here. Then we make a target location component and add that. And then when it reaches the target, we want to call some callback. Yeah, so this is going to be public void. Actually, it's not public, right? I don't care about that. Private void on hit. Or on reach target. And this would take in object sender and event args. Why is that even done? Event handler, event args. I don't like that. I don't think we even use this, but I'm not going to change this now. I think that's a separate commit. So yeah, sure, it looks a little weird for now, but that's okay. Pirate args. How's it going, Mags? Okay, so now this can just be on reach target. This gets deleted. This all goes down to here. All right, now we cube free the sprite. We actually cube free the entire projectile. And if the target is dead, which this thing wouldn't even know about, right? We could have it take in a target. What would it mean? Okay. I could see a spell like revive. Imagine that this shoots a ball of light at the target. You want the target to be dead for the projectile to act because it's going to revive the target. So you can't just assume that every projectile will do nothing if the target is dead. But you could also just have it override this. So you can have like a revive projectile that's special. However, we're not even tracking a target here, and I feel like we should. What else happens? There's on projectile hit. That would probably need to be passed in. Yeah, because there's just a fireball, but it could be something like a frostbolt in the future. Okay. Yeah, I think taking in the target then is probably a good idea. Node 2D target. In which case, all that code that I had here, we need to put back in. So this, for example, and this. Cool. Oh, that's the starting position. Maybe we'll have it pass in node 2D source as well. Now we don't need the node 2D thing here. And we don't need the node 2D thing over here. This is just target.position. All right, I think that's good. So now all we do is make a projectile, new battle.add child projectile. Before I forget, let me write this down, which is add a projectiles node to the battle so that all the projectiles are in the same grouping. That'll just make it easier to see what's going on later. So now we don't need this. We don't need this or this. And we do need a reach target thing. Projectile.init. Fireball entity target. Sounds good. Can't convert these, so we got to make them node 2Ds. That's going to get really annoying because everything uses a node. Do I use it for namespaces? And does it correctly pick up the structure? Copilot seems to do a pretty good job. I do use it for namespaces. But yeah, every once in a while it's wrong. Although I realize you could just, whoops, I didn't mean to close that. You could just type literally anything here, like aa.bbb, and then just have it fix itself. And I think that's what you're saying. No, you use an extension, never mind. Yeah, I think you could just type any random garbage there and just have the analyzer fix it. Okay, so we're going to store the target, node 2D target equals null, private. Okay, store that off here. And that. And then we'd finally call an on projectile hit. So this could be an event that's raised, or an action or whatever. Yeah. That would kind of work. Is this a good idea? Node battle system. I guess we should store these things as nodes, huh? Fine. Yeah, fine. Yeah, get rid of this nonsense. And then here, just cast. It doesn't know how to cast. Okay, fine. Node 2D. And then same thing over here. All right, we're getting there. Then we also need the source here. Does this know? Yep, good. And then the battle system. Cool. Save all those things off. None of that actually worked. There. And then this is not passed in. Oh, interesting. I'm still not totally sure how I feel about this, of passing all these things in just so that we can have the caller be slightly simplified. So this is source, and then underscore target in battle. Yeah. Yeah, this is pretty close to what I want here. Oh yeah, move projectile into namespace AA. Then shouldn't it know how to fix this? I thought I just showed this. Apparently not. All right, fine. Then we take in the battle as well. And then we do a projectile. And now, where did that function go? Oh no, come on. Oh, here it is. Yeah, what am I doing? All right, member cannot be accessed with an instance reference. What? Oh, this is supposed to be dot invoke. But still what? What's the problem here? Qualify with a type name instead? I don't know what that's about. Remove static? Do I have a stat? Oh, I have a static thing. Yeah. Thanks. Also, I don't even think this is supposed to be an event or an action. Let me take a look at what I did over here. Nope, it is. Okay. But this is supposed to be a question mark. Yeah. Okay, let's go try that. This slightly simplifies the fireball code. So now if I start a battle, we should see fireballs. Uh-oh. Those aren't fireballs. Those are 159 errors. What did I mess up? File path doesn't exist. Did it get the wrong thing for fireball? I think I just let it autocomplete. Yep, of course it got the wrong thing. All right, this is just assets temp. Yeah. Should have actually read what it typed. Almost. All right, what's this? What, same deal? Navigation system? Which implies that on projectile hit isn't doing what it's supposed to do. It's just freeing this. But this has a sprite, and the sprite is what oh man. This sucks. Oh man. Yeah, we have to free the sprite because that's what gets the component. Oh, actually it doesn't need to be. We can just add this to here. There, easy. Now I think all the problems should be fixed. But I think this is highlighting an issue with using the entity component system. All right, that went off to the middle of nowhere. And I know why. At least I think I know why. It's because we're adding the sprite to this scene. We never set its position. Oh, its position should be 0, 0. Why is that happening? Okay, well, you know what? We could do this the other way around, I guess. We could have this be added to the sprite, and then we could do one of two things. We could either queue free the sprite and also this, I guess, or we could have queue free go through the entire hierarchy and call queue free on everything underneath it. Yeah, we need to do this recursively, and that's part of what queue free should already do for me. So maybe I should just have an on tree or on exited or something like that. For now, I want to do this. I don't like this idea. Because this is So probably bite us in the future where we're just not aware we're even doing this, and then something's going to go wrong. Again, this entire problem stems from that we don't have our own entity class. So we're storing things inside of a component, inside of an existing Godot node. So when we free this, we're not calling this special function on all the children. I guess that's technically the way we should do things then. Any tips on bug diagnostics? What do you mean specifically? Because I probably have some tips, but I'm not sure what you mean. Oh, finding the root cause. Yeah, I have a few kind of general tips. One is see if you can come up with a consistent repro. Reformulate, thanks for resubbing. Welcome back. This is number one because I feel like you can test so many different things out if you have a reproduction of it that works. Number two is see if you can make that repro faster. So rather than doing like 10 steps, waiting, etc., try to write a script or some special function to do it. And then after that, it's debug. And add logs, I guess. I think those things in general are the top tips I would have for this. If you have something that reproduces every single time, then it's just a matter of, yeah, figuring out what set of conditions needs to be met or what assumption is broken in the code. By the way, conditional breakpoints help quite a lot. A lot of editors, IDEs support something where you can add a breakpoint, obviously, but then also you can right click and go to edit and say something like, oh, only when the projectile's speed is greater than 50 do I want to break in here. And you can do something like that. And then it'll only break in when that condition is met. So that's really helpful because let's say you're iterating over like 1,000 of these elements. You're like, huh, this only happens in the latter half of them. Then just check like I is greater than 500. Or maybe only specifically on a particular element of that. I is equal to 500. A lot of those you can just write in as if statements into the code, right? If some condition, then just type of like print here high and set a breakpoint on this line. You could still accomplish that, but it's just easier as a conditional breakpoint, especially when you can't modify the code. It's in library code. So we could have made a lambda function for this. And then we wouldn't need to store so many things in the projectile. I guess it doesn't matter too much. I guess the other thing too is that perhaps the battle should have an add projectile function. And then it can encapsulate all of these things. I want to see what that would look like, but yeah, I want to see what that would look like. Add projectile. Well, I guess we're doing this no matter what. Yeah, projectile, projectile. And for now, this can just call add child projectile. Yeah, so this only added code, but now we don't have to worry about how the battle's going to add it. Then initialize, then set what happens when it hits. And when it hits, we're just applying damage, assuming it's not already dead. And if it is dead, this isn't going to get called. Yeah, all right. I am happy with every part except for this one line that's highlighted. I want to try something though. Let's go into Battler. Somewhere we add in basic attack. I don't know where we do that. Here it is. All right, what if we just gave them Fireball instead? So now enemies and players are going to use Fireball. And then let's hire a couple of adventurers, which we can't do because we don't have money. Grant money, hire, and really need to make a debug function to enable all of these battles. So now they should both, well, no, only the skeleton should shoot fireballs. And it's broken. What's the problem here? Oh, I never freed the projectile. That's why. Yep, this is what I didn't want to do. This and that, yeah. So that's, we got to fix that. Try this out though. Grant money, start battle, hire adventurers. Still breaking. Man, I'm not doing a good job at this. Null reference on the entity. Let's see. Projectile reaches the target. It calls Q free. Oh, is it because I'm freeing up both things? Probably is. Yeah. Oh, I don't see why that would cause a problem there. The order of the freeze probably does matter. This is the exact problem that I'm talking about, though. I shouldn't need to free multiple things. I should just be able to free one thing. But Q free makes me think that it shouldn't have mattered too much. It definitely does matter. Well, I'm glad I'm focusing on this now. So projectile on reach. Oh, it's failing on the sprite part though. Oh, I never set the sprite? Oh, that's why. Whoops. Well, that was an even dumber problem. At least it's easy to fix. All right, now we looking good? Yeah, nice. Cool. So hire more adventurers. Hey, Voffy, it's coming along. Whoops. I didn't mean to do that. All right. Yeah, we just added in projectiles. Although I'm probably going to lose this battle. Wait, did I just counter a fireball? Does that make sense? It probably makes sense. Huh, neat. Well, this battle's taking a long time, but looks like it's working. Add fireballs? Yeah. If only it were that easy. Come on, win the battle. Win it. Don't let it kill you. Okay, there we go. I just want to see what this looks like. Yeah. This alone is a major change. I mean, it doesn't look very good. It's always the same fireball. It's not animated. There are no particle effects. They're not, I don't know. There's a bunch of like little things, but you can at least tell what's happening and what's hitting what. Because of this, it probably makes sense to now arrange the adventurers in a vertical line rather than a horizontal line so that a fireball doesn't have to pass through all the other targets first. Yeah. Hey, Tamija. All right, that's another thing I'll write down over here, though. Arrange adventurers in a vertical line so that projectiles are more obvious in what they're targeting. Okay. Yeah, so this is what I don't like. I think we can recursively go through and call Q free on every single child, but that's probably what Godot is already doing. Godot, GitHub, Q free. What is it, like an underscore in the middle? Yeah, here we go. All right, so how does this work? If is inside tree, then call Q delete on this. Delete Q dot pushback. All right, so we got to see where the delete Q is being processed to try to figure out how does that actually work? Mem delete object. Oh, they might do this via destructors or something though. All right, well, that's too bad. Not actual physical projectiles, just dealing damage as usual, but displaying a graphic not really connected to the events. So I'm not totally sure what you were picturing, but like we have the mage using fireball. Are you saying that the order of events would be at like time 0, produce fireball graphic, and immediately do 12 damage, and then at like time 5, fireball reaches target, fireball disappears? Because this is kind of how botland did things, and it was a bit of a mess. But I'm not sure that's what you're talking about. But I think the way that this is in the game right now is how players would expect it, where it's like a fireball. Oh, that's not good. Did I just change something and forgot about it? Uh-oh. What did I do? What did I do? I don't think I actually even changed anything yet. Which means there's just, oh, what's that? No, yeah, there's just a problem here somewhere. Thought I saw damage appearing after the fireball reached the target. Yeah. Well, what I was saying is this is not a good idea. I think this is a better idea, which is produce fireball graphic, and then time 5, fireball reaches target, does 12 damage. So in this first one, it would be like on casting, like you're shooting a fireball from your hand, it just immediately does the damage, and then the fireball travels to the target and does nothing because it's already done the damage. But I'm probably just not understanding what this message was about. Thought you wanted the effects to be purely visual, not actual physical projectiles. Yeah. All right, how am I so thoroughly breaking this? How are they shared? Can I publish my OneNote notes? Your OneNote notes are technically automatically published if you share a notebook with somebody. Because I used to have, I probably can't get you the link to this anymore, but I used to have a OneNote notebook that I didn't do anything special to publish. I just shared it with people and they automatically had whatever was the latest contents. But to answer your question, I'm using Starlight. And I might even have some notes in my notebook, although this is using Obsidian. But if you look through Starlight, you should find some notes in here. So yeah. All right, so this only seemed to break in the second battle. And it's the same general problem, right? Something is disposed that we're trying to access here, which probably means we didn't clean this correctly. Oh my God, I know why. This is the exact problem I was talking about. Okay, what's happening is that the battle is getting deleted, but it doesn't know how to delete its own projectiles, which is why that queue free needs to be. So it turns out this is actually necessary, this thing that I changed, where we have a queue free here somewhere. Where is it? Queue free instance. Yeah, this needed to be this call, but now this call needs to go through every single child and do this correctly. Okay, well, then let's go fix that up. Nope, whoops, wrong one. There we go. And then this goes through every child recursively. Oh, this is obnoxious. So I guess free the entity, and then for each node in get children. Yeah, that'll work. Oh, no, no, that won't work. Oh man, gotta make sure I'm calling the right thing there. That'll work. Name can be simplified, yeah. Oh man, yeah, that sucks. Okay, this needs to be called recursively. Do we have another? Yes, since we have no other way to detect that an entity in our ECS needs to be freed. As a quick example, imagine that a projectile is created in a battle with a target location component, but the battle ends before the projectile hits the target. The battle will be freed, but the projectile won't know that the battle has ended. Yet it still needs to update systems about the deleted component. Yeah. What add-on is that displayed name can be simplified? There are two add-ons that are doing that, I think. One is error lens, which is what's showing that green text, but then it's also coming from one of the analyzers that we have in this CS proj thing. I'm not sure which one. Managed to catch a stomach flu this week. Raimi. Thank you for resubbing, but Raimi. We were from Godot to Unity after 7 years of working with it in C#. Do you think it's worth investing time in GDScript? I might have read that backwards. We're moving to Godot. Since we already know C#. I don't think it's worth investing time in GDScript if you already know C#. Yeah. I don't think you'll find much benefit there. There is one thing that's kind of nice, and that's that GDScript has hot reloading. So you can make a change and it'll just affect the running editor. Whereas C#, even with a pretty small project, like watch, I hit the play button. About, what is that, 6, 7 seconds so far? 8, 9? That's like a decent amount of time to wait every time you play the game. So yeah, having things work on just reload automatically is kind of nice. I don't think it's worth writing your whole project in a GDScript as a result of that. But if you're prototyping something really fast, you could always do that. Yeah, I hope it gets better, Raimi. Could you solve this with notifications, or does the ECS add complexity that prevents this from working properly? The real problem that we have is that the things that get notified are Godot nodes. Like they have an on tree or on exited tree function or something like that. But the issue is that we're not just using nodes. Like any of our nodes can be an entity. So we need something above node, Godot's hierarchy. So like Godot has sprite 2D, which inherits from node 2D, which inherits from node, which inherits from I don't even know what object or something like that. We need some way of injecting ourselves into this hierarchy so that we could have like an entity class. And we just can't do that as far as I know. Unless we recreate. Yeah, no, we really can't do that. Is Java similar to Go? I mean, I think a lot of imperative languages are similar just because of the way you end up thinking about things. So in that sense, yes. But I guess it's the same sense that like, I don't know, Tetris is similar to Minecraft and that they're both video games that are blocky, but I wouldn't call them the same game at all. So like they're not all that similar in terms of language or execution, but they're going to feel somewhat similar if you're using them. It's a very subjective answer. Anyway, because we don't have our nodes inheriting from some entity, we just add in a thing. So like we say, okay, this node, fine. We don't inherit from entity. Why don't we add in the scene tree a components node? And this components node is what's going to hold everything that we have. Health component, target location component. Well, when we delete this node, we need to know that wait a second. Hold on a second. Could we just modify this components node? Oh, I think I'm a dummy. Yeah, I think we can. Okay, well, whoops. Oh, can we public override exit tree? Yeah, what is this? Called when the node is about to leave the scene tree upon freeing, scene changing, or after remove child. I only really want to know when it's going to be deleted, which is what I guess notification is. Okay. Yeah, I think we need to change this, and I think this will be a much more elegant solution. Oh man, I'm stupid. Modify component holder to add a on exit tree or something that will free the components. Yeah. There's a pre-delete notification, and I knew about that, but I hadn't thought of using it in this particular class. I don't know why I didn't think about it. It wasn't until I fully explained my thought process just now. In fact, I'm going to give you a point just for asking that question, even though other people asked the question, but that's the one that made me finally put two and two together. But first, what we need to test is do our battles work correctly? Because before they could break, and now I think I should have fixed this, so we're just going to run. Oh, no, it did still break. Why did it break? Value cannot be null. Is entity dead? It's called in the battle system. Call effect function, effects component. There's something that's null. Oh, whoops. Get component. What is that? Battle system 99 effects component. Call effect function on damage dealt. We must have. Yeah, something's going very wrong here. Yeah, somehow we're passing in an entity that doesn't exist anymore. Deal damage. I wonder if that's the problem. We calling this on a projectile or something? Source for entity effect. What is the source? The thing that dealt damage? Deal damage. Oh, did I mess that up maybe? What's Fireball doing here? No, entity and target. It never uses this. Or it never uses the projectile. I don't know what's wrong. That is bizarre. I wonder what the entity is that it thinks is broken there. Let's just put a breakpoint and see. So if source equals null. Actually, if source equals null, this isn't going to tell us anything. We need to know how the source got to be null. I probably should have just paid attention to what happened in that battle. All right, let's clear the errors and let's take a look again. So start a level 2 battle. What happened there? It happens even in a level 1 battle? So confused about that. Yeah, somehow we have a source and deal damage that's null. I guess it might still help to put a breakpoint here. Well, no, we know the stack trace. We know it's trying to do damage, right? Fireball, yeah. Fireball has an on-projectile hit. Something's not being saved correctly. Apply burn entity target. We don't even have that. But we have base damage. We have entity and target here. Are these passed in correctly? Maybe they're wrong somehow. Source target battle. Source target battle. Yeah, that's correct. And we're saving them. Source equals source. Target equals target. We should probably do them in order. Not that it matters. And then are we initializing them correctly? Entity target battle. Is there any way for this stuff to be null? If target is null, we return here. The battle can't be null. The entity also can't be null. And then we get into this, and we have the same arguments. Let me just deal damage here. Huh. Is it possible that there's something else going on here? All right, well, let's set a breakpoint for this, and let's change it so that we say entity equals null. And let's just run this. It shouldn't be that the target's dead. I think something else is going on here, and I think it's only when we clean up a battle. On projectile hit should never be called in that case, though. Can't meet its target. Yeah, I don't know what's going on there. All right, let's start a battle. Speed this up a little bit. Okay, speed it up a lot. There we go. Battle ended gets hit. I don't actually care about that. Hit the play button. No, we already run into an issue. Value cannot be null. ECS get component coming from there, coming from, has to be fireball on projectile hit. Yeah. How did my breakpoint not get hit? Oh, because, okay, I see. Is this somehow called from the battle ending? Navigation system. Pursue. No, it's not called from that. Weird. I guess it's target that might be null. I guess we could just have set a breakpoint like this, or target equals null. Yeah, there. Now try that out. Start battle. Wait for it to finish. Did it just break again? I think it did, but I don't think it actually, I don't think it broke in, which means there's something else going wrong here. How much time do I have left? I have like half an hour. Yes, it is definitely breaking. Something is nulling this out. Source. How's it even possible though? I guess I'll put a breakpoint here. And just say source equals null. And then try this again. Huh. I am missing something here. Effects component line 21, which comes from battle system line 99. Oh wait, the component is what's null. Oh my god. Okay. Yeah, I see. It doesn't have a health component. Oh, how is that possible? How would that be possible? Is entity dead? The projectile is reaching after, yeah, something. The only thing I can think of is that we are, as I coded this thing wrong, and then we're not actually going through every entity and freeing it. So that it doesn't even know that the projectile is gone. That's the only thing that could make sense. So I guess we would need to print out here what we're freeing. Could potentially be a lot of stuff. And all I really care about is, I guess, if node is projectile. Yeah, gd.print freeing projectile. This should be happening. I don't even think this is going to tell me a whole lot. Oh. Okay, start a battle, let this thing finish. Well, it didn't break in. Did it say freeing projectile? Okay, I think that's the problem. Hey, PX. Yeah, I think the problem is that the battle's ending and somehow we're not freeing things correctly. Oh, I just don't see how that could happen. All right, let's search for a queue free instance. Put a breakpoint there and press the button again. Can I speed this up anymore? Yes. Okay, so we call queue free on the instance. This should go through every single child. Queue free that thing, go through all of its children. How many children does it have? It should have a bunch. Yeah. Forest, dungeon, fire dungeon, system, and then 2 nodes. What are those nodes? What are those nodes? Systems. It should be the projectiles, I guess? Or the adventurers? Oh, actually, no. Huh. Okay, well, let's get the, let's see, 0, 1, 2, 3, 4. Yeah, what are you? You are a node. You're a battler. Okay, that's fine. That makes sense. Then this should also either be a battler or a projectile. You are another battler. So there are no projectiles. What? Add projectile adds this as a child. What's going on? Okay, so I guess after this, we're still somehow dealing damage even though this thing has been freed. If I put a breakpoint here and hit the play button, what happens? No, it's not happening that way. If you change to use notifications, does this loop become necessary? Are you spending time on a bug that'll be solved? You are correct, yes, on both of those parts. But I wanted to understand what's going on here because it's possible this new thing doesn't fix this. And I'm still not even totally sure why this is happening. Well, we could do the implicit suggestion there, which is fix the thing that needs to be fixed and then see if this bug still exists. So yeah, I guess let's try that. All right. Yeah, for science. Okay, so what we can start with is an override exit tree. We'll just do this for now. I don't think this is correct. We probably still need to call the base function here. I don't know if that does anything. Does it do anything? Maybe not. No, it's empty. Okay, so we don't need to do that. And then we call this thing. So we know that there were components and we're going to call remove component from entity on all of this. But this does not know what holds the, oh no, it does. It doesn't. I guess this is the parent of this. Get parent and then component. Yeah, for each. Inaccessible due to its protection level. Did I make this private? Oh, I did. Well, no reason for that. So now queue free shouldn't be needed at all. We just got the component holder so that we could. Oh, and yeah, when we iterate over this, we can't do things this way, right? Because I'm gonna delete the component. Yeah. This is gonna be like, we got to rename this. Copied components. There, that will be less confusing. All right, then we delete all of queue free. Oh boy. So silly of me not to have realized this. Okay, now let's try it. I think that should be it. Very hard to say. Failed to build. ECS does not contain a definition for. Oh yeah, I forgot to delete that. So this is just queue free. Instance.queue free. Any others? This is customer.queue free. And this is just a queue free call. Yeah. I sort of look at what I'm doing here as bonus work, even though I probably shouldn't be looking at it that way. Like, I could have just said, I'm taking vacation. At least I'm getting something done. All right, so fireballs looking good, doing damage. Do they cause any errors? No, they don't. So then probably everything's just fixed. I don't know. Let's try starting another battle. Yep, looks good. Okay, well, then I'm going to give Broken Crown another point. Yeah, we're going to lose these battles, so I need to level up my adventurers first. Probably get more adventurers. Yeah, we're not seeing any errors show up. Where's my other? Oh, I never hired another one. Yeah, this isn't causing errors. I'd say we're pretty good. Wow. Well, thank you. That you deserve those 2 points, but you especially deserve that second point. Yeah, no errors. Looking good. All right. Yeah, that's much more elegant. So this, the only question is, should it be on exit tree? And I'm going to just say yes for right now. Because, well, what if you remove something from the tree? No, no, we should probably do that correctly. All right, Godot has some notification for being deleted. Where is that? There it is. All right, what are the notifications? Pre-delete. Callback before the engine deletes an object, a destructor. Yeah, so notification pre-delete. That's what we want. Components node. This is going to be notification. Yep. Now, does the base of this do anything? Base dot notification, what? Nope, it doesn't. Okay. And all we care about is pre-delete. If what equals notification pre-delete. So if it's not equal to this, then just return. All right, this is, I think, the proper way of doing things. We'll just test this really fast too. Yeah, I'm glad, Broken Crown. Too bad we had to put a pause on all this for about a month. You know, I say that, but I'm about to take a vacation. It's not like I'm complaining about the vacation. I have been excited about doing this. And especially after getting feedback, I feel like there's a lot of momentum. I really want to work on this more and I want to see what people have to say after I make changes. Yeah, looks like everything's working. All right, this is, I think everything here is proper. This is not ugly code. This is not some weird way of doing things. This is just the correct stuff. So now we just need to fix the tangled mess of commits. And technically, I don't even really have to do that. All right, I want to just change the ECS stuff here. Yeah, this is one part, and then I think this is the other part, and I think that's all we need to check in. Oh, no, but that's going to change the queue free not existing. Oh, darn it. All right, so we put this back in. Good. Yep, projectile didn't need to exist. Instance.queue free, we stage. That's not needed ever. That's not needed. That's not needed. And then there's one tiny change here. Didn't I have a queue free here somewhere? Yep, right there. We need to somehow just stage that one line getting removed. And I don't know how we do that. So I think let's just copy paste the whole file. And then click this button. And then delete queue free. This did not work. There we go. Yeah. And then include this again. Okay, cool. We're good. We did it. Fix or delete ECS.queue free. This was just a stupid idea in the first place. I should have been doing what I'm doing in this commit, which is to listen for the pre-delete notification on component holder and use that as an opportunity to delete all of the components. Good. There. Now we copy paste in this code again and we make another check-in. Yeah, that looks good. This should not be checked in. Okay, so those two things, this one thing, not that. A lot of this was debug code. Like I gave all the enemies a fireball skill. I don't want to keep that. That was just for testing. And then what's this? Yeah, hiring a random adventurer. This is so that I start with a mage. Add projectile class. This should simplify the creation of projectiles. Cool, cool. Now let's make those other couple little changes. We still have some time. I have a meeting at 12, so I've got about 20 minutes. And then I think the afternoon stream is going to be a little bit delayed because the only lunch I have is a pizza that I have to make. And I don't want to have the oven on while I'm in a meeting. So I need to wait till 12:30 to start the oven and then actually eat the lunch. So like I probably won't be back for a little bit later than normal today. But I'm not ending just yet. Checking what I've done, make new projectiles, maybe try adding another one. We should probably work on the effects thing. Modify this, we did that. Add a projectiles node to the battle, that's very easy. We need to put it in the right spot. I guess it just needs to show up on top. Ooh, actually, no, we didn't ever add the battlers to a specific spot. Check if you can program it to start automatically. Oh, that's interesting. Yeah, I didn't think about that. Although the problem is I would have to do that in the next 20 minutes. And if I can't, then I just need to wait anyway. Yeah, it's a good idea to learn for the future. Also, I haven't put the toppings on the pizza yet. So I'd have to do that too. I'll probably just wait until after lunch today. All right, so we got to add two different nodes. We're going to add one for battlers. Should that be a node 2D or a node? I don't think it really matters. How are we doing this in the town? Let's just copy what we're doing there. Town.tscn. They're node 2Ds, yeah. Then let's make them node 2Ds over here too. Node 2D. It doesn't matter where they go in relation to systems. The systems are invisible. We'll call this battlers, and then we'll duplicate it and call it projectiles. Then in instance, let's save off a couple things. Private node 2D, battlers node, and projectiles node. Is that it? Yeah, I think that's it. Okay, now get those things. Good. I think that's right. Battlers and projectiles, yep, good. I always forget the names as soon as I alt tab. And then when we add battlers, we need to add them to the right location. So this just has add child, not anymore. And same thing here. Add child. Any other add child calls? Nope. And then the battle system. What is a battle system? It's a node, but it gets added in what instance? Is there a There is no battle. How do we do that? Battle system equals get node. Oh. Oh. Adding this to the instance. Okay, projectiles should also be in the instance, but the battle system probably doesn't know the instance. No, it doesn't. Oh, man. Well, so much for that being super easy. Yeah, we would want the parent to call this thing. We could make a signal and just have it listen for it. Yeah. It's a little strange, I guess. But this would take in a projectile. On projectile created. And then in add projectile, we do that. Dot invoke projectile. Cool. And then listen to it from the instance. We just search for plus equals. There it is. Put this here. On projectile created equals create projectile. Private void. Should know what I want. Yeah. There. All right, that should work. Everything should look exactly the same. We shouldn't see any errors. That's pretty much all we're checking for here. You have a video when you worked on assets. I'm curious about how you got the battle scenario set up. So I did not create the assets. And I also didn't set up the foundation for the battle system. That was Darkstorm. But even if I did have that stuff, I think it would be hard for me to find. Is there something in particular? Because I can just explain. I am using Copilot, yeah. The signals are C# notifications. I was always unclear on how they interact with each other. I think they're mostly just C# notifications at this point. I was using signals, but then there are some nodes where we can't use them. All right, we're going to grant money. We're going to speed this up. Oh, yeah, that's what we got to do. We gotta write a note about make a debug function to unlock all of the battles. Or maybe just make a start level 3 battle that gives you 3 adventurers, starts the battle, yeah, without you needing to click a bunch of buttons. Is everything working? I don't see any errors. Yeah. All we were doing is making sure that fireballs still look good, which they do, that the battlers are still added correctly, which it looks like they are. In fact, you know what we could do is we could start a battle and then pause it and then go just take a look at the scene. So we should see instances, slot 0, viewport, instance. Battlers, we have a few. So the 3 player characters and 1 enemy. And no projectiles, probably just because of when I paused it exactly. Although it's going to be hard to pause it in such a way that there's a projectile on the screen because they last for like half a second. Why can't I? There we go. Oh, well, you could slow it down though, I guess. There. Now maybe we can pause when there's one on the screen. I'm going to move this off screen so I can see. Where'd it go? No, no. No, I'm messing this up. Right there. No. Just need to pause at the right time. There. All right. Instance, projectiles. There we go. Perfect. Looks good. Just curious if it's a single image or if it's composed somehow in code. Talking about the battle scenario, for example. So I'll give you a brief overview, and if I don't cover it, let me know, and I'm happy to answer it. So in Godot, you do things with scenes. So everything visible would be a scene. And that means that the instance itself would be a scene. So here we have the background of it. Then when we add battlers, we're instantiating in battler scenes. So battlers are just a character with a life bar. That's pretty much it. In fact, there is nothing else. You can see right over here. There's the character and there's the life bar. So we put those into the different slots over here. And then projectiles also get instantiated. Projectiles are an empty scene that gets a sprite injected into it. And the actual code for creating the battlers is here. So create player battlers, for example. We go through each of the adventurers you have. We instantiate a battler scene. And then we just set a bunch of properties. We figure out its position it should be at. And we add in things like health and stats to them. All right, so what did I just do? I added in a couple of nodes here. This should not be checked in, this one line. But I want this line. How do I do that? Nope, that's not what I wanted. That's what I wanted. So we have removed fireball from the enemies, which was just for testing anyway. Looks good. Oh, I meant the actual image, which you mentioned is just a single image. That answers it. Yeah, for right now, the battlers are all just single images. They're all the ones over here. Monster, mage, rogue, and warrior. Eventually, they'll be animated, I think. Watch your YouTube video about your corn keyboard. I'm ordering a 36 key corn for myself. Tell us how you assign your thumb keys for your workflow. Yeah, so I've got the key map to it right here. And you can see the thumb keys. So the leftmost one, if I hold it, it enters the function layer. Oh, Appleseed, thanks for the resub. Yeah, huge progress. And by the way, the game is playable if you want to check it out. The link is there. So left key is the function layer. It takes me into this layer. So I can press F1 through F12. Then the next one is one of the only dual function keys I have on the keyboard. When I press it once, it's space, and that's because of how common space is. And when I hold it, it's my navigation layer. I don't tend to use this a lot as a held key on my left hand, but I do sometimes so that I can do things like copy and paste, which you can't tell I'm doing, but there. So I can copy paste with just one hand over here. I could also have hit Command C, Command V, but that's really awkward with one hand given how few keys I have. The next one over is the number layer, so that's what lets me type numbers. And then on the right hand, Shift, it's just Shift. That's it, because of how common Shift is. And I can press it and then let go and press another key if I want. And then we have the navigation layer. This is not also space, it's just navigation. So as soon as I press it, I'm immediately in navigation. You can press arrow keys or backspace or enter or something like that. And then this one on the far right is the symbol key. And that's what lets me type all of these things that you see here, symbols. So if I enter this layer, I can type out a bunch of symbols. And that's it. That's a brief overview. Okay, so we added in these nodes, we modified the scene, and we needed to change the battle system too, right? Yep. Add projectiles and those nodes. Yeah, this is just for grouping related entities. Cool, cool. How long did it take my brain to get used to using the keyboard? I would say it was incredibly slow for about a week or two. Then it started picking up speed, and it wasn't until about a month or two where I'm like, all right, I'm more comfortable. But there was a lot of time where you're just so used to doing things with certain muscle memory. So on most keyboards, copy is like hold your pinky down and press your middle finger or your pointer finger. And you get used to that shape you make with your hand. So when all of a sudden you're like, okay, I'm going to change it. And now it's going to be like, hold your right thumb and press your middle finger down on your left hand. It's like, that's very different. And yeah, you really need to stop and think about it. I switched to Colmac almost exactly a year ago. And I've only just started feeling like I'm almost back to my QWERTY speeds. So yeah, switching layouts from QWERTY to Colmac was a very impactful change in terms of speed. What am I working on and how did I start? I'm working on a game called Skeleseller. You can find out more there. And how would you start? I think the easiest way if you wanted to get into game development is just go to godotengine.org. So this link, click download, and then go follow a tutorial, start messing around. It's surprisingly easy to get started with a lot of this. Why did I choose Colmac? So I only really type in English. And Colmac is, if you go to, I think there's a colmac.com. Yeah. They say the advantage is right on this page. This is the main reason why I switched to it. It was for ergonomics and comfort. And I don't even have pain or problems right now, but I just thought, you know, I'm probably gonna be typing for years and years. Let me just switch and see what happens. And I'd always just been interested. So at the end of the day, this was one of those things where I was like, I was probably just gonna do this for fun, even if there were no benefits. And I don't know if there have been any benefits. So it's hard to say that this is a worthwhile thing to spend an entire year of time. Why last stream? Because of the vacation. I'm going to be gone from May 22nd, which is technically Wednesday. I could stream tomorrow, but I don't think it's a good idea, to June something. And I'll probably, the first stream back will probably be June 17th, I think. Going from working on that keyboard to playing WoW, assuming you use QWERTY, must have been so weird. I just switched to another keyboard when I play games. Because yeah, it's I'm not going to retrain my gaming muscle memory too. I think that's too much. So yeah, I just switched to another keyboard for that. I did use an Ergodox and a Moonlander for gaming. I think those have enough keys on the left half of the keyboard that it's okay. But gaming is not just about having half of a keyboard. You also end up typing things to people. And when you do that, you want to be able to type normally. So you can't modify your layout too much. Will I still code during that time? No, it's just going to be a vacation, I think. If I do any work, it's going to be like organization level work, probably. The last change I wanted to make is something we might be able to do in 5 minutes, which is to arrange battlers vertically, or at least your battlers. So here we pick the row as I divided by 3 times 2. So I think we can just do this, and we're done. Let's try that out. All right, so we grant a bunch of money. We create an instance and then win it. Create an instance and then win it. And then hire adventurers and start a battle. Yeah, now we're arranged vertically. And that way, projectiles going toward your players, it's obvious where they're going. So when they're arranged in a line, I think it's just less obvious. Oh man, it's so much cooler seeing mental swiftness when you actually see 2 fireballs go to different enemies. Is microservices a Microsoft thing? No, they're not. Microservices is a way of grouping up your services such that they typically do like one thing and you have many of them, as opposed to some huge monolithic service that does everything you need. Yeah, I think it's a good change. I only did it for the players. I probably should also do it for the enemies. Are you ready? It's 2 whole characters. Oh man, that was tough. Okay. We're done though. Now enemies will be laid out too. Actually, what's more work than that is just getting to a level 3 battle. Because I need to battle, win, get new adventurers, and then start. And yeah, now they're laid out vertically. They're also laid out at the leftmost side of the battle. I wonder if they should start at the rightmost, but it doesn't really matter too much for now. I kind of want to lay them both out in the middle and have overflow adventurers go to either side, but that's not an important change. So we're just going to check that in for now. All right. Lay out battlers vertically. Now that projectiles are in the game, this will make it slightly easier to tell where projectiles are headed. Yeah. Isn't one thing that does everything good? There are a lot of reasons why you might want either one, and it's why there's no one size fits all solution. If you have like one mega service, then how do you take out just one part of it and update it? Like, let's say it's your database and your, I don't know, your account server and your API and your whatever else. I don't know. You got a bunch of things and you're like, you know what? I want to upgrade the database. If it's all inside one service and you take that process down and you're taking down everything for that time, that's like a reason to maybe want microservices. A reason to maybe want a mega service is typically you have like one repo for all of it. And you can have one repo for microservices too. But that could be helpful. It could be helpful to just know that you've got this process that contains all the information you need. You don't need to worry about which machine this thing is living on. Yeah, I like the backstory for this game. A lot of this came from shoehorning it into the names of the game. I was trying to come up with something like the working titles of this game originally were things like Loot Tycoon and I don't remember what else. Other things that were like, they were more descriptive than they were flavorful. And then I came up with the name Skeleseller, and I'm like, this makes no sense because we don't even have skeletons in the game. So we worked backwards. So I was like, I like this as the name of the game. I was like, but you'd have to be a skeletal shopkeep, and that's what it turned into. And yeah, now we've got a nice logo and everything too. So I think we're pretty good. Yeah, I have a meeting in 7 minutes, and I want to use the bathroom before that. So I think we're done with that. Yeah. Okay, so in the afternoon, we're going to take care of some of this stuff. Mark the projectiles subtasks done. And then start on effects. Yeah. I wonder if effects need to handle deletion the same way. I don't know. I'm not gonna worry about that for right now. Do meeting on stream. It's not a work meeting. It's just a fun thing. And I'm not gonna just surprise the other person and be like, haha, you're live on air as we catch up about our lives. That would be quite bad. I've got another like minute, so I might as well write the today command for the afternoon. Ecom today, Adam's last stream. It's now, this is Adam's last stream probably until June 17th. Due to vacation. Work on any improvements you can make to Skeleseller without being an unfinished state for weeks. Yeah. Okay, I'll put this in. I'll put this in the today command. I've got to get going. I mentioned this earlier, but it's about noon for me. I have a meeting until 12:30, and then I want to start the oven, pizza and oven, and then eat. Because I can't really do that till 12:30, this is going to be a slightly longer break than normal. Usually I'd say I'm going to be back in about an hour. I'll probably be back in about 1:30. So that works out to pretty much an hour and 30 minutes. I think that should be enough time. Yeah, it should be enough time. And I'll try to finish a little bit sooner if I can. But yeah, 1:30. And then it'll probably be for about 3 hours. And then that's it for about a month as far as streams go. So we'll see what we can get done. But it's been a blast. Yeah, we've launched the first checkpoint in the game. It's playable. And we got a lot of feedback. So yeah, I gotta get going. I will hopefully see you all later. If not, have a great, month, I guess. And yeah, take care. Thanks for watching so far. Bye.